Hello everybody, and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. Today we'll be continuing our Diviner campaign, beginning with Scenario 13, the Temple of the Seer. Still playing on the maximum difficulty that we can play on. I also just realized that I forgot to get water, which I'll go get in a second after. Alright, so what all do we need? Altar, 6 stone pillars. So apologize again for not being here for the first half of this week. So basically on Sunday, apparently Algeria won their round of 16 match in the in the Cup of Africa, I think is what it's called. I'm not that big of a football fan, so I mean, obviously I watched the U.S. women's team, but for the most part I don't watch that much football. So I don't really. I mean, I'm not actually aware. This is just what I've heard. This is like secondhand, I guess is how I'm trying to put this. And so basically, they were celebrating in the street all night, which, you know, whatever. It doesn't. I get a little bit annoyed with the noise here because we normally have people who like make noise in the streets all Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Like not like noise like drunk and going out and stuff like that. That whatever, you know. But more like driving their cars down the street honking all night for no reason. Here they were doing that, but I mean, at least it was for a good reason, so I'm not really upset about it. But unfortunately, it meant that I didn't get to sleep until much later than I would have liked to Sunday night, so I was exhausted on Monday, which just meant that Holmes gave for Living Spirits, which just meant that I wasn't in a state to be able to stream. And then yesterday, I had a commitment. Well, I gave rendezvous. And yeah, and now we're here today. A little bit tired, or just because really busy time. We're about just over a month from moving from country to country, which is obviously involves quite a lot. And on top of that, we've now got people coming to visit the apartment at the end of this week, so I have to. So I'm not a slob, but you know, living in my own apartment for 3 years while in university, picked up some habits when I get to live by myself, right? And so here with Jessica gone for 2 weeks, let's just say that the apartment isn't in as pristine a state as it would be if she were here. So it involves even more work getting it cleaned up. Well, we can certainly say my fault, but no one's fault but my own, I guess. 21 and it's a difficult scenario. We have a number of choices for which scenario we can do, but a lot of them are actually kind of blocked by being boss scenarios or leading to boss scenarios. And we don't actually want to do a boss scenario, not just because of spoilers. I mean, here, if we have to, we have to. It's one thing if we're at the end of a campaign and we're just replaying scenarios, but it's a different thing entirely if we're actually in the beginning of a campaign. We're going to do boss scenarios, But the Mindthief actually retires after one more boss scenario, and I really don't want to retire the Mindthief because again, I don't want to like mess with the party dynamic of having one lower level character. I don't want to add a spoiler character into this because a lot of people are interested in watching this. So yeah, the rest we don't need to set up for now. Shuffle their decks. This. So anyway, we have to avoid boss scenarios. Can't do another one of those. We need to do a city event and road event. I just had to because I hadn't placed all the things that I had unlocked. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to quickly do a city and road event. Probably go grab some water. All right. Mindthief loses gold. Why not? I spend gold on this anyway. Basically all that happened. We got another city event in the deck and a road event. All right, well, great, because I didn't want my life being any more difficult. All right, and then we each lost 5 gold, so lost combined 25 gold here. We have to make it up with the scenario. There, don't really care about losing money on these two that much, especially not the Mindthief. Do care about losing money on the Diviner. Would like get to another enhancement there, but you work with what you got. Or you work with what you're dealt, I should say here. All right, no special rules for this scenario. The goal is to kill all enemies. Yeah. Start with 3 stone golems. So I'm just going to quickly go run and grab a glass of water, and then we'll get started. So be right back in 2 seconds. Sorry. All right. Sorry about that. Lacked foresight. Okay, so 3 stone golems, one of which is elite. Been here before. Also, thank you to, I want to say it was Fenton. Actually, yeah. Let's properly. I can double check. Yep, Fenton. Thank you very much, Fenton, for providing me with this much easier to use Aether model. I'm not sure these will be my starting spots. I'm just placing myself there, placing our characters there for now. And we're going to take a look at our cards. So, Mindthief, do we have anything that we want to bring? Well, certainly not Mass Hysteria here, right? Giant enemy, shielded enemy, pretty giant enemy as well. So Mass Hysteria is not going to be good enough. But Fearsome Blade. Oh yeah, so we did have the loot action, which we don't, or the loot card, which we don't actually need to bring. Although we're looking at a 2-room scenario. Let's move away. So Invis in the Doorway could do something. We're still. So basically it's 50% range, 50% melee. But we've got melee here, so we're probably looking at a higher density of range compared to melee, especially in a large room like this to make it difficult. And as it happens, I do know that well, actually I don't know, I believe it'll be much more range than melee. So Invis in the Doorway might not do very much. So we most likely don't want this. We do want the rest of these. So that leaves us with kind of one of these cards to take. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, technically it could be this one as well. Let's look at everyone else as well while we're at it. Cragheart, we definitely don't need that. Crappy loot action either. Where'd you go? Get out of here. And instead, I don't mind having either of these. Even the healing could be okay, just in the first room. Theoretically, any of this stuff can be fine. Is there anything else here we don't want? I think basically all these cards are good. Yeah, we want all of those cards. So we can just bring one card from down here. These 3, basically. So the question is how much we want push. We know that there are, let's see, yeah. So there are muddle and damage traps. So 3 traps total, muddle and damage. But at the same time, we do know that, like I said, this room will be significantly more ranged than melee. Most likely, I mean, and I actually know that that's the case. That'd still be a reasonable thing to guess metagame-wise. Without knowing anything, just knowing the enemies that are here and what's in the. So accordingly, I think traps are not going to be very useful for us. So which thus makes push not very useful for us. So the question then just becomes backup ammo or Nature's Lift. So without Crater, backup ammo really just works for Massive Boulder. Yeah, I don't think that's really where we want to be at. So I guess we'll just take Nature's Lift, do a little bit of healing before we go into the next room, presumably. It's kind of a why not, I think. Reasonable that it's likely we will take some damage with the 3 stone golems in this first room. Alright, accordingly, we don't really care about the push for the Mindthief. Either of them. That makes the choice pretty easy. Honestly, Hostile Takeover is pretty good here. I don't believe bears can make ranged attacks, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, positive that bears can't make ranged attacks. They can do their stupid like healing, retaliate, shield stuff, but still, knowing a bear won't attack per turn by immobilizing it's not bad. Stone golems also can't. I mean, sorry, stone golems can make and do have a very annoying ranged attack, but it's range 3, so it can potentially be played around since this is range 4, and this goes before their retaliate, although that's not necessarily a good thing because it's kind of waste the immobilize. But regardless, this is good against 50% of the enemies in this scenario. It's still 9 initiative. card. Okay, and as for the diviner, so dimensional transfer seems actually pretty good here. What doesn't seem good? Honestly, Call of the Nether does not seem very good here. It's not going to be good really at all in the first room. It could be good in the second room. Got a decent chance of being good in the second room, actually. This seems really good here. We've got a lot of high value targets. So the question would just be to swap this. I definitely want this, I think. This, maybe I should just keep this. I mean, it still gives me 2 curses here in the beginning, maybe even 3. And then it might give a few more curses, like 1 more rest cycle in the next room. The problem is, what's annoying with this card, all right, so this card's actually really good your first rest cycle, and then it's very frequently, I mean, like maybe first and second rest cycle, and then it's very frequently something you just want to lose, because once you reach like 8 to 10 curses, it's not really worth playing this action. The problem is, because this is just a 2-room scenario, we're not going to get to 8 to 10 curses, I don't think, in the first room. I guess it's possible, but in that case, this for just 2 curses is not really that appealing anyway. So it'll be good on our first rest cycle into the second room, but then we're not going to get a long rest typically while fighting in one giant room. We're going to have a short rest, which means it's not going to be easy to get rid of this. We'd have to get lucky, which I don't like. So is it better, though, than dimensional transfer? Sure, I should have dimensional transfer against the enemies that are in here. Stun against these enemies is so valuable, especially because in the second room we're looking at mostly ranged enemies, which means our disarm rift isn't going to be nearly as good as it normally is. Should we just cut this? Yeah, honestly, I think we probably just cut this, which is kind of insane, right? It's a level 3 card and enhanced, and we're putting a level 1 card in its place, but yeah, that's how it is. I mean, especially as a support, you have to bring the right tool for the job. All right, so what are we looking at here? Well, we're looking at wanting to drop some rocks. That's a given. So there should probably be always like 1 rock between them. This. I'm just trying to figure out when then we like immobilize this one. Because I'd like to set up disarming them. Alright. So we're always dropping rocks in the Cragheart. We're always using unstable upheaval for initiative. Where are you? And we're always endurance potioning this back, just to be clear. Because I forget, because many times I do get distracted on this point. Alright. And we almost certainly want to use our disarm rift combo. Where can we do that? So presuming we put like rock here, here, and here, which works, then rift here, rift here. In that case, they all get disarmed when they walk through. Yeah, that works. And so then the Mindthief, as usual, is just going to go late. Go up. Then attack that creates ice. That kind of sucks because they have 3 shield, but still probably worth using. And set up my. You want to go after they go, so they come up and go through the reps, the disarm reps. All right, this works. Pretty standard opening turn for us. All right, that's perfect. What we wanted to see. They are not going. I mean, that they're going to move, and they weren't going to go after the Mindthief. Works out pretty perfectly. Battle goals. Yes. Here. Kill 3 or fewer monsters or kill 1 or more elites. Well, 3 or fewer monster kills pretty likely for us on the diviner. I think this will be our 3rd checkmark too, right? Yes. Nice. Nice. Alright. Here, have 1 or more monsters always present or never drop below half. Probably not getting either of these. I think we're almost certainly long resting before we go into that second room. I guess we can try to never drop below half, but yeah, it's not super likely. Use no items or loot 5 or more money tokens. Oh, we're never using 0 items, so here we go. Okay, so the Cragheart's up first. We're going to begin by using the top of Rock Slide, creating Earth, gaining 1 experience. I'm going to grab some rocks and drop them. 1, 2, 4, yeah. So we can do the 3 like that. We rather funnel, like have an opening here, because this also works if you do like this, this, something like that. And we can even move up. But we want to move. That's a bit of an annoyance, huh? Because we want to actually be able to smash them through the rocks. If we move to here, it actually works. Yeah. Yep, that works. Because then what'll happen is the elite, so it'll be 1, 2, 3 like this. And then this one will be 1, 2, or 1, 2. So they'll both go through a rift we place here. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, this one will go like this, so that we can place a second rift, for example, here or even here. Regardless, we'll get all of them. Okay, that works. So we'll move there after dropping the rocks. And like I said, we will use the endurance potion and I'll deal the damage then. Alright, here we go. So 2 direct damage to each of them. 14. Alright, there we go. Okay, so the Diviner's up next. So we're going to, and I will always read the Diviner abilities the first time through in each scenario, just for anyone who happens to be tuning in for the first time, and then after that, I will not read them again. So we're going to use the top of Void Snare. Place 1 Rift token on any unoccupied hex within range 3. When any enemy enters a hex containing a Rift token this round, it gains disarm. So we're going to go place a Rift token here, range 3. And then we're going to use the bottom of Fount. Place 1 Rift token on any unoccupied hex within range 3, and then pull 2, target 1 enemy within range 3 of any Rift token, and pull them toward that Rift token. We're going to place our next Rift token here, because it's further up. We can put it here as well. It always has to be in one of these 2 spots to get this one on its path to here. But, yeah, especially because if we want this one to go here, then this one would end up going here. Either way, having it be further up makes it easier to use in the next room, although there's a decent chance we're going to end up moving it. But in that case, it doesn't change anything. We'll place it there. We will not pull anything into it. Why? Well, because we could, for example, pull this into here. But if we did that, it would disarm it for this round, but then it wouldn't enter a rift again. And which would mean that their movements 2, yeah, you'll still make it to that one. So I mean, well, we could if we did want him closer. Good question. We could pull him like this, which would mean he would go here, rather than him being here. But I think, honestly, him being here is fine. So, yeah. So we're not going to pull it, because if we pull him, we'll give him disarm now, which means he'll only have disarm for his coming turn. But if he moves into the rift during his turn, he'll get disarm for that turn and the following turn. So it's better to not pull. Again, what's amazing about Fount is that there's only 1/2 of this card, but is that even when you're not, I mean, many times the pull is excellent, but even when the pull isn't excellent, just placing a second rift when you use Void Snare is so good. Like, it's just a really flexible card. Often we use the pull, sometimes we don't use the pull. Either way, it ends up being good for us. Alright, so the Stone Golems go. So the Elite has 3 movement, and the regulars have 2. So 1, 2, 3 to here, disarm. This one we can have to go 1, 2 like this, or 1, 2 like this. I guess we'll keep them clumped up. It's better for Massive Boulder. So this, and this goes 1, 2 to here. Its focus is actually here. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Obviously we can choose, and it goes like this. They all get disarmed for this round and for the next. Nice. Be annoying if they do their stupid retaliate stuff next round, but that's only 1 out of 7. Okay, and so then the Mindthief goes. So we're going to gain 2 experience no matter what. We're going to do a move 3, attack 3, range 3. Going to move to here, I suppose. So we can make a non-disadvantaged range attack with our bottom on this one, and still make melee attacks on this one, rather than being advantage when we attack this one, because we'd like to use our bottom stun soonish. Okay. So we go there. So we're going to make our attack 3, range 3, targeting number 3 here. We're going to target the regulars rather than the elites. First of all, we have a lot of single target crowd control in our party. So when we're in a room with a large number, with a smaller number, some number of really difficult enemies like this, really strong enemies that aren't easy to kill, it's usually in our best interest to try to bring them down to 1 as quickly as possible. Because then from then on, we can easily prevent that 1 from ever really acting. Whereas it would take a similar amount of damage to, like, I mean, killing this would be like 1.5 of these, basically. Maybe even 1 shield defense. Yeah, probably about 1.5. So I'd rather just do 2 here, which would still just be a little bit more damage than it would take to kill this. And get it down to just this, and then just chain CC this one. Anyway, also making an attack 3, it's better to attack something with 3 shield than 4 shield, because here even just a +1 does give us some damage. So hitting number 3 with our attack 3, range 3 from the bottom of Dark Frenzy. Well, alright. I guess now it's not going to get the retaliate, so at least there's that. We do get 1 damage, and we create ice. Didn't really want the stun flip there, but can't win them all. Okay, and then we're going to use the top of Mind's weakness, which is just an attack 3, targeting golem number 4 here. We have nothing else to use. We didn't want to use the battle axe or anything like that just yet. Okay, that's nice. Star 3 becomes a 6. Just 3 actual damage here. Honestly, every bit of damage against these enemies is quite valuable. Sunlight's weakness is active. That's the end of the round. Okay, so what's up next? I'd like to get the wound as soon as possible, but at the same time, we don't want to stun this round, and we don't want to play another card to go late. It's not guaranteed that we can go after them. What would be valuable would actually be to get poison as soon as possible as well, so I think using Corrupting Embrace makes sense. And why don't we just go ahead and strengthen ourselves here? Because then next turn we can easily do this plus this to stun both of the regulars if they're still alive. And getting the strengthened before we do 2 attacks on top, and then 2 attacks next turn as well, gives us a significant amount of value. Okay. The Diviner's kind of free to do whatever. We could create another Rift so that we could hit 3 targets with Ethereal Vortex rather than 2. That's literally all that would be doing, though. Just not stellar. And that would be assuming that this one survives, which it probably should. It's not very likely that Mindthief kills it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably worth it. We don't have any tops that really matter that much right now. We don't really need to deck stack right now. Better to do that, I mean, a little bit later when we're hitting the elite, which is where it's more difficult to deal damage, or before we go into the next room. Also when we have elements. So yeah, honestly, I think just using Dimensional Divide just to create a rift here is probably fine. And at the same time, throwing out 2 curses and creating the dark. Have the dark. We won't use the dark next turn though, because we're going to use Ethereal Vortex top next turn. It's actually probably better to use this bottom next turn so that we can then use Envision the turn after with the dark. So let's actually go with Seal Their Fate now, and then yeah. Because next turn there should still, I mean, hopefully there should be 3 enemies left, but I mean, there should certainly at least be 2 to get 2 curses with this, doing this plus this. Our initiative's not going to be great, but hopefully that'll be alright. Alright, that's our turn. So what is the Cragheart doing? I'm going to guess we're going to Heaving Swing the Elite. Getting the wound on the Elite, I mean, the sooner we get wound on the Elite, the better. We're also going to get to push it through 2 rocks, which is going to give us a significant amount of damage. I guess we could also use Brutal Momentum on it, huh? If we use Brutal Momentum on it, it's just 4 direct damage plus the attack. That's not bad. Question is, but then we miss out on the wound for 1 turn. After we use Heaving Swing, we won't be able to use Brutal Momentum anymore because there won't be those obstacles there. So I guess it is actually probably better to just use Brutal Momentum first, because otherwise we're going to have to get an enemy next to a wall, as we'll depleted the easy obstacles to use. Because a push 2 will put it here, and then we would be able to Brutal Momentum for 1, but basically we'd be getting the wound 1 turn sooner, but we'd be losing 2 Brutal Momentum damage, so we would end up down 1 damage. Yeah, and I think we can use Rumbling Advance the turn we use Heaving Swing, because then we can move into a better spot to get a bunch of direct damage. Once this rock is gone, we like push this to here, and then we can go here and get 1 direct damage each, which is 3 direct damage, which is actually really valuable. Alright, Brutal Momentum, and then in that case we might as well just strengthen ourselves now. Work for this turn and next turn. Okay, here goes. No Retaliate, that's good. Okay, so we're up first on the Mindthief. So we're going to do a move 2, heal 2 self. That doesn't matter, but the strengthen does. So if one's gonna end up getting pushed to here, it's maybe not bad for us to go like this. No, I think we can stay where we are for now. Because this way we still have flexibility to make a ranged attack on either. We have to move before attacking, obviously, so that we get the strengthen. Okay, and then we're going to use the top of Corrupting Embrace. Here I'm actually going to wait to use the ice for the second attack. I know that this is riskier, but since my attacks are doing so little damage against these stone golems anyway, I would actually rather take a larger risk to get a higher payoff than go for like small ball damage when my small ball damage is like 1 to 2 damage at a time. I'd rather hope, like, try to high roll a big crit. I think that's, well, actually not that reasonable in the end, because I actually want 3 enemies alive for the Diviner next turn. Alright, no, never mind. Normally I think that would be reasonable, but yeah, here not so much. Especially since we had the advantage, but alright. So we're going to use Corrupting Embrace, so it's going to normally be an attack 3 and then an attack 4, because of the poison afterwards, but we'll consume ice using the Frigid Blade on our first attack, giving us an attack 5 poison, then attack 4 muddle, targeting golem number 4. This with advantage. Okay. So 5 is 2 damage. Moving on to 9. It. And then. Okay. So just 5 damage again, or attack 5 again. So again, 2 damage, down to 7. Also muddled, but I'm not going to bother placing that. Yeah, we didn't get great modifiers this far. It would have been really nice to see a +2 ice there, so we would have ice for the following turn. Oh yeah, we won't actually have ice for the following turn, so we won't actually be able to do stun on 2 now. We'll only be able to stun on 1. It should be fine. I think we can actually just finish off one of them instead of needing to worry about stunning it. Okay, so now the Cragheart is up. So the Cragheart's going to use the bottom blunt force, gaining 1 experience, strengthening itself. And we're going to use the bottom of Brutal Momentum, making an attack 3, push 2. And for each hex we cannot push the target because of an obstacle or wall, it takes 2 direct damage. So we're going to attack this one again because we want to try to eliminate the regulars first. I will try to get the wound on the elite. That's just because putting the wound on the elite gives us more damage because it has more health and it takes longer to kill. But here I'd rather just do direct damage to this one to try to eliminate it as quickly as possible. So we'll attack number 3 here. We're going to push in this direction, so we can't push again because of the FAQ change to Brutal Momentum. And here we go. I'm afraid we didn't shuffle our... Wait, hold on. How many did we add? Yep. Afraid we didn't shuffle our deck. This is really a shame because this would be extraordinary, right? I think maybe we even did, but I don't know. I can't take the risk that I didn't shuffle my deck, so I'm going to have to reshuffle. This would be so good because each of these would add 2 more push, so this would end up being 6 total push or 12 direct damage to this one, which is obviously just insane. But unfortunately, the most likely explanation, I don't remember, but the most likely explanation is I added, because it is exactly 2. If it had been 3, then I would know that I did shuffle my deck and I just got very lucky. But since I specifically added 2 in, most likely explanation is that I put them on top of the deck and forgot to shuffle the deck afterwards. Unfortunate. All right. Hey, bye, Canary. So let's try this again. Okay. All right. You all saw it. I shuffled. I shuffled. It was meant to be. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, we get a -2 on the attack. Oh no. So in the end, we do have 6 push, and now there are 6 hexes that we cannot push the target. So we gain 6 experience? What? For each hex you cannot push the target because of all our obstacle, the target suffers 2 damage, you gain 1 experience. Yep, 6 experience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Glorious indeed. And this takes 12 direct damage from 13 to 1. I could have just deleted the 3, but I'm still too in awe of what just happened. Okay, great. Well, that was exceptional. Definitely happy we went with momentum first. And we're done. So then the Diviner goes. So on the Diviner, we're going to begin by using Dimensional Divide. Place a Rift token on any unoccupied hex within range 5. When any enemy enters a hex containing a Rift token this round, it gains Wound and Immobilize. We just need to place it within range 2 of one of these golems because our goal is to move it on to one. We'll put it here because we can still move it down here, and on the off chance that this one ends up dying before we go, this still works. Okay. And then we're going to do the bottom of Seal Their Fate, which is a move 3, attack 2, range 3, curse. And we're going to go... We want to hit this one. But then next turn we want to use Ethereal Vortex hitting all of them. But is Ethereal Vortex melee? Are all enemies occupying our... Yeah, our Ethereal Vortex is melee, so we don't have to worry about being adjacent to one. We can move as much as we want, so we might as well move all the way up to here, I guess. This allows us to go further in the room. And so we make an attack 2, range 3 curse, targeting golem number 4. Get +1 from the poison. I'll wait to use the goggles on the Ethereal Vortex attack. +1. So this does 1 actual damage. Down to 6. Adds 1 curse into their deck. That's that. Alright, the stone golems go. Soon enough. Soon enough. Ah! Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. And that's gone. Turns out, disarming the entire room for 2 rounds, pretty good. Ugh, what a card. Alright, so we're going to do this and this. Certainly. Is it better to go with early initiative to do this? Because Ethereal Vortex here with advantage should certainly kill, because we're essentially doing an attack 4 is the 2 pierce. It actually is really important to go early. We'll have another opportunity to use this. In worst case scenario, we can even potentially consider using this top to do some deck stacking. Missing out on 2 curses, but getting to do some deck stacking isn't a bad thing. It's just really important that we go early so that no one has to worry about this. Otherwise, one of our allies would have to help us take care of number 3, but here no one will have to take care of number 3 because we'll just be guaranteed killing it ourselves. I mean, basically. Actually, do we even have any rolling modifiers in our deck? We do. We do. Yeah, we have a couple rolling modifiers. So it is technically possible for us not to kill it, but still very likely. And we're going to endurance potion this anyway, which we're happy to do because we got a 9-card hand size right now, so this will give us one more card, or one more turn. Okay. As for us, heating swing. Oh, yeah, but we get a guaranteed kill on that one with Rumbling Advance. Well, I mean, I think we're still going to use Rumbling Advance here, even though it's only going to do 2 damage now. It'll still give us 2 direct damage, which is pretty good. So either way, this thing's dying. But it's still good for the Diviner to go early. So we need to use this to stun one of them. So I guess in this instance, what are we using for a top? I guess just our biggest attack. We're not going to have ice, which is unfortunate. So maybe the elite is actually going to get to go, because I'd really rather put the wound here, since the Cragheart's going to wound the elite no matter what. I don't know, we'll see what they're doing. It depends how valuable the stun versus the wound are, but this is going to depend on what we see they're up to. Okay. Powerful attack. It would be an attack 8 from the elite. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a second. So the Mindthief's up first. No matter what, we're going to begin by using the top of Frigid Apparition. We're going to attack the adjacent 4 here. So this is an attack 4 plus 2, so 6 with advantage. Okay. That solves that question. So 7 doubled it. Wait, hold on. So it was a 6 plus 1 from the roll and plus 1 from the poison is 8. Doubled 16. Yeah, I think it's dead. I think it's dead. Well, so much for getting a glorious ethereal vortex, huh? Stupid Mindthief ruining all our hard plans. Alright. And then we're going to use the bottom of Perverse Edge. We're going to gain 1 experience, create ice. We're going to make an attack 1, wound, range 3, stun. We're going to target the elite, because again, this one will always die before it goes, so best to prevent the elite from having a turn, even though we're going to overlap wounds. Alright. The flip here doesn't matter. Okay, sure, why not? It's not like it was good to get that, because we're not getting rid of it. We were reshuffling anyway, but we don't really care. Here, we're just happy to get the... primarily just happy to get the stun. Okay. Oh no, actually, hold on. We are strengthened. Yeah, well, still nothing. What do you know? Alright, and so we lose our strengthen. Alright, so then it's the Diviner's turn. So... Alright, I mean, it was clear that I meant to use this. Oh, it's here. It's just I grabbed the wrong card. I mean, I was never planning on using this turn. I'd already gone specifically over what I was going to do here, so I'm just going to switch it out for the other one. Again, it doesn't really change anything because it's still going to suck. We're always getting a guaranteed kill here from the Cragheart. We're not getting a curse here, so this is really just kind of attacking one target for essentially no damage, but... Alright, so we're going to begin by using Ethereal Vortex. Move all Rift tokens up to 2 hexes. Attack 2, target all enemies occupying a hex containing a Rift token. Pierce 2, curse. So I think I'll move... I actually need to go to the Diviner FAQ. Interesting. The FAQ, well, I mean, so my question is, when moving Rift tokens, do you follow normal movement rules, i.e., they cannot move through walls and obstacles, difficult terrain costs, to move, etc.? So most of this made sense to me anyway. I would have assumed that terrain and everything like that didn't affect their movement, but I didn't necessarily think you could move them through walls, but fair enough. Rifts are not figures, thus are unhindered by any terrain. You simply move them 2 hexes. Moving them through walls I never considered, but I do not see any reason why not to allow it. It fits thematically and makes them a bit more flexible. I think this is a reasonable approach too. Doesn't seem to be any reason why they couldn't move through stuff, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what a rift is, so anyway, so in that case, I was going to put it here, but I could actually put it here. But I actually think having one on the doorway is probably more valuable. Well, this actually brings us to another weird question. Can you move to somewhere you don't like know is there? I don't know. This is what's really weird, actually, because it doesn't actually completely answer the question. Because moving through walls, there's a difference between moving, like, if this door was open, going like 1, 2, you know? But with the door closed, could I actually go like this? Or can I move onto this doorway with this door closed? I'm not actually sure. But I'm guessing if they don't follow any rules like this, they wouldn't follow any other rules. So I'm going to go ahead and move this here. I think I can. But again, it is a little bit unclear, I think. All right, and we're certainly moving this rift down here. I guess we don't even need to move this rift down here. We could also move this rift up. The only advantage of moving this down here is that if we get a low damage roll, then we could get a curse. I think that's pretty small value. I think I'd actually rather just have more rifts towards this direction to make Ethereal Vortex better in the future. All right, so I'll just move that one actually that way as well. And then I do get the one which is on top of the elite, which makes an attack. And I guess I won't use the eagle eye goggles here. Those. All right, +1. So we were making an effective 4, but +1 is 5. I say effective 4 because we got 2 and 2. I think it's 4 shields. We do get 1 damage to it. Woo! And 1 curse. And then we use the bottom of protective aura as a default move too. 1, 2 to here. And going to endurance potion. Oops. Yeah, stop grabbing the wrong cards, huh? Alright. So it's the Cragheart's turn. We're going to begin by using the top of Heaving Swings. We're going to make an attack 3, wound, push 2, targeting the elite. We will be using the push. Advantage. Nice, not bad, not bad. So our 3 turns into a 6. 2 actual damage, and then we're going to push, destroying both of these, giving ourselves 2 more experience, getting 4 more damage. So we get 6 total damage on this. Go. And we gain 2 more experience, and then we use the bottom rumbling advance, creating earth. Thing to here, I suppose. Because here the Mindthief would take 1, and it's important that the Mindthief gets coins. That's her battle goal. So, medium concern, but we kill that one as well. Ours is, yeah, never drop below half. All right, got that. Okay, so we're done. The golem goes, loses its stun, takes 1 from its. I think I just did that damage already. Let's see, was it 19? Took 1 from the. Yeah, I did. Oh no, I just did 1 from Rumbling Advance. That was it. Okay, no. I feel like I've just done 1 damage to it, but no, that was the Rumbling Advance damage. Okay, cool. Alright, so we can't even give 2 curses anymore, so we kind of failed on the curses front. We could do 2 deck stacks, though. Not easy to create the elements for that, though. I mean, we basically, have to use potions. Yeah, we don't have any dark creation here anymore. Trying to think. So then the question is it actually worth using the top of anticipated, or is it better to use the bottom? To get dark and 1 curse, and then set up this with that. Otherwise, we could use like this, and then 1 of these tops. That's probably better, to be honest. This also allows us to blank this thing ourselves, since none of our allies actually have CC anymore. I mean, we've got mobilize, but still. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. So we'll only end up getting 1 of the deck stacks, but that's not that big. We definitely want to go early. The goal is to go before the stone golems, have the stone golem get invis and stunned, and then have the stone golem go and have our allies go after. So Mindthief needs to go as late as possible and attack with. Doesn't really matter. We're going to be doing a default attack no matter what, but there's a possibility we might want to immobilize it. Probably not, but still. All right, and again, this is in the hope that we go after the. Otherwise, we'll see. We can always adapt on the fly if necessary. Same thing. We want to go late here. pretty much involves that. That's probably just attacking with this. We'll see though. Alright, let's go. Not going after that, huh? +1 attack. Huh. But it is a melee attack. So, yeah, I mean, I guess this does change our plans a bit, but that's fine. So we're going to use the top of Protective Aura, which is still going to give us an element for next turn anyway. We're going to gain 1 experience. We're going to create light. And all allies within range. 2 of us have shield 2. This doesn't really matter. We're going to use the bottom dimensional transfer to do a teleport 4. We're just going to teleport over close to going into the next room rather than picking up a coin. Fine. Okay. So then the Mindthief goes. Happy that we played the Immobilize now. Sucks we're going to miss out on the ice, the Frigid Blade value, but preventing this from attacking is obviously a pretty big game. Although how much movement does it have? Is it like 2 movement? Is it possible to prevent now? I mean, with 2 movement, we have to move so far back. I don't really want to retreat that much. I don't think that's worth it. But yeah. Better just like kind of do a weak attack for a turn with the Mindthief. I think that's fine. So we're going to use the bottom of feedback loop as a move or jump. No, we're not adjacent to it, so we can actually range. So actually, we're going to use the top of hostile takeover, gaining 1 experience, creating ice. We're going to make an attack to immobilize, targeting Stone Golem. Okay, no damage. And then we're going to use the bottom of feedback loop. Okay, then the Cragheart's going to go. Earth doesn't really change anything for us. I guess it would allow us to immobilize it again next turn. We get 1 less attack with the possibility of using an immobilize. Is that good? The immobilize isn't very good though, because we don't actually want to make a ranged attack with the Mindthief. We want to make a melee attack. So I think we're kind of going in on it no matter what next turn. So let's make our bigger attack. We're going to use the top of Kinetic Assault to make an attack 4 on the Elite. Gee, fortunate. Alright, and then we're going to use the bottom of Massive Boulder. We're going to move. And then the Stone Golem goes, is immobilized, takes 1 damage from its wound, down to 9. A lot of work to do on that thing. Something just won't quit. Alright, well, let's give it a curse and stack some decks. Give it a curse if it's still alive. Couple Kragans. Don't really have much else. I guess we just go late. No, better to do the heals next turn before we go after it. I guess we're probably just making a default attack against it here. A couple too many situational cards. I mean, that just aren't good while dealing with golems. That's fine. Alright, that's gonna hurt a bit, but it'll be alright. The Mindthief's up, so we're going to... really doesn't matter so much here. We're always doing default. So we're gonna use one of these to move, and the other one is default attack. Here. Grabbing this coin. And so then we're going to use the top of Cranium Overload as an attack 4, plus consume the ice. Therefore, be making an attack 6. For stun powdering? Probably not. I think I'd rather kind of save everything for the next room, because that's going to be the difficult part. Alright, that's unfortunate. Only 2 damage. Really not getting a lot on this thing. Okay, Cragheart's up next. I'm going to use one of these cards to move, one of these cards to attack. Here, then. The other one we're just going to make a default attack with, hoping who knows what. He's immobilized. Stone Golem goes. So it's going to attack at +1, so normally 7, here 8, but with disadvantage on the Mindthief. 7 damage to the Mindthief. Ow. And it takes 2 from its action and 1 from its damaging itself, more than we're damaging it. Alright, and then we're going to go here. We're going to use the bottom of Anticipated Intricacies just to give them 1 curse. Get 1 curse, creating dark. And we're going to use the top of Envision the Course, doing light, gaining 1 experience, and we're doing a little deck stacking of, I guess, the 2 attacker decks. Hey Gripe, my Cragheart is level 4, and I feel like my teammates are running circles around him. Is there a threshold level where it gets significantly better? Level 4 is the level where it gets significantly better. The Cragheart is amazing at level 4. Rock Slide is just beautiful. I mean, yeah, I guess that's the question. Did you take Rock Slide? If you didn't take Rock Slide, then maybe level 5 will be the level where you get good, but Rock Slide is one of the most... So, it's weird to say this, because I don't think Rock Slide is inherently broken. It is probably a little bit overtuned, but it doesn't actually bother me. I think, like, overall it's fine. It's a key core action for the Cragheart. But, so when I say to keep this in mind, bear in mind that I don't think it's, like, broken or wrong, but what I'm saying is, I think Rock Slide is one of the most game warping abilities in all of Gloomhaven. Especially if you're considering like relatively fair classes, it might be the most game warping ability on a fair class in Gloomhaven. It does a bunch of direct damage, spread around admittedly, and more than anything, it significantly changes monsters' ability to negatively affect your allies, which is just incredible. So yeah, I think probably just a little bit of experience. It also, like, here I'm playing in a solo party, right? So it makes it look easy. I mean, well, with the exception of the Mindthief, who sometimes does her own thing in order to get loot, everyone in my party agrees with each other about what they want to do, right? There are no issues. There's no people like motivated by their own self-interest typically, or not completely understanding what someone else wants to do. So in a party like this, it makes Rock Slide look even better than it is in your party, potentially. Especially if you're in a newer party who doesn't have a ton of experience with Gloomhaven. So the biggest thing you can do maybe is try to communicate a bit more with your party and try to get them to understand like what it is you do, when you'll be doing it, which is 13 initiative, how you'll be doing it, like remember, it's like you're not allowed to use card names and you're not allowed to give numbers, but you can say, yeah, I'm going to go as early as I can. I'm going to transform the battlefield this turn, and I'm going to try to deal as much direct damage to enemies as possible. Or I'm going to try to prevent this group of enemy, I'm going to transform the battlefield over here, and I'm going to try to prevent this group of enemies from getting to us by creating a funnel through which they can come here. So if someone can just move up here and create a choke point, which they'll tank in, stuff like that. Like that is perfectly fine communication, right? So it's just important that you're on the same page with them, because if you're like trying to play too much on your own and your party is kind of not coordinating with you, then Rock Slide is going to be less amazing, because it obviously, like, the ability to transform the battlefield is only helpful if your party actually takes advantage of the changes you make. It also depends. What's your party? What are the other members of your party? All right, so we're on our first deck stack here. How soon do we need bonus damage? That is the question. This thing has 4 life left. 3 because it's wounded. Only the Cragheart is going. So does the Mindthief need to take a short rest? Ugh, that's brutal. I don't want to lose any of these cards, right? Ugh, but I think we need to. So how much will we need? So base attack is 4. There's no damage at all. Nor do we have ice. So if we attack with just a generic card, we would actually need a 7 to do 3 to kill this. And that sucks. We'd have to use up like a lot of this good stuff. In that case, I guess we should stack probably like this, and then like this, and then like this. So we can just do any attack. Plus getting the ice here means we can kind of play any bottom. We don't need to play a bottom that creates ice, and we'll still have ice for when we go into the next round. Alright. Stone Golems requiring all our resources. Oh man, don't you love it when you stack like this? Admittedly, classes with lots of +1s do make the deck stacking a little bit worse. Versus you, Cragheart. This is why we're always excited to stack Mindthief, less excited to stack Cragheart, but you can't win them all. Okay, and that's the end of the round. I don't think stacking the monster deck stacking can be useful when we get to a high number of curses, but for now with only 3 curses in their deck, I don't think it's really worth it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take, in the end, I guess, a long rest here, so we certainly could have used our goggles. Cragheart's just going to play these Cads and do a little healing on the Mindthief. And Mindthief has to short rest, unfortunately. I'm not going to bring back Mind's Weakness because I want to be able to reroll here if necessary. Oh yeah, I'm rerolling on that. Dagger. And short resting with the Mindthief is a brutal. I mean, yeah, we've only invested how much gold on this? Well, 30 wasn't very much. 75, so 105 plus 5, so 180 gold enhancing this. Yeah, that's nothing. And it was only already one of our 2 best level 1 cards to begin with. But that being said, it's actually not super easy to use that in the upcoming fight, right? Because we're gonna have such a large room of enemies, we're gonna have to like kite them backwards, or maybe move in and do stuff, you know. So it's not always gonna be easy for us to have a turn where we don't move. At the end of the day, I mean, I'm definitely much happier to have Corrupting Embrace than Perverse Edge, but obviously I wouldn't have chosen to lose either of those if I could have picked. Okay, so we need to kill this thing. We don't need to do this right away. The healing isn't bad here. The advantage would get us through our +1 afterwards. Like, get us +2/+1 afterwards if we move after attacking. It's not bad. We wouldn't be using it the turn we attack, though, which is a little bit of a shame. So I think I probably don't want to do that. I don't know how soon I'll need the invis or a big amount of movement. I kind of like want all my cards is the biggest issue here. The Diviner can create dark for us as well. This top, when we enter the next room, can be very good. Maybe not this then. And we can use this now. Yeah, and maybe we don't care so much about this right now. There's a chance we want to go invis right when we enter the next room, though, because that could be the hardest point of this scenario, is right when we enter. Maybe we don't care about this so much. Top, top, top. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. All right. So we're always going for the stone golem, that's for sure. Yeah, Canary is correct. As usual. Alright, so Mindthief's up first. We're going to begin by using the top of Cranium Overload to attack this stupid stone golem, just doesn't want to die, so it's an attack 4. Oh, what do you know? Turn that into a 7. So 7 has 4 shield, takes 3 down to 1. And we're going to use the bottom of Cranium Overload. Oh, well, I guess we use the top of Cranium Overload. We're actually supposed to use the top of Hostile Takeover so we can move a little bit more. It really didn't matter. It was always default top, and then the other bottom made sense for default top. Okay, so then the Cragheart's up next. We're going to use the bottom of Earth and Cloud and the top of Nature's Lift, just doing a total of 4 healing to the Mindthief. Putting her up to a more comfortable 8. Stone Golem goes and dies. From the wound. Around. You get to choose which card to lose. Did you know something interesting, Dwarf? I believe this is actually correct. So I read this a little while ago, and now it's funny because I always second guess myself. Yeah, so you can actually block off a closed door. Double checked. I'm saying in the character section now as well, which seems a little nonsensy to me, but it is what it is, right? So it doesn't actually, I can't get the direct quote for that. Someone had linked something, I think that was more clear on the subject, but the FAQ says, for the rules, obstacles cannot be created /placed such that they block off an area of the map. How does this work with doors that may be open or closed in a future turn? Consider only the current state of doors when determining if an area will be blocked off by the obstacle. I think there was even a further clarification of this somewhere, but I can't find it right now. Anyway, I've never tried to do it because I'm still not exactly completely sure that that should be legal, but... Well, theoretically, if I'm not wrong about this, which I believe I'm not, because like I said, I did see this before, and remember, I mean, yeah, so theoretically, I guess, well, you can only do this before the door is open. So what you would need to do would be, yeah, to create obstacles around it first, then to have someone use a jump ability going over it, opening the door, and then jumping back, I guess. not sure. At the same time, I think it's actually for all doors potentially. Well, so Marcel was with us when we did scenario 19, which for anyone who knows which scenario that is, I mean, I'm not going to be more specific, but which is in which you start in a room where there's only 2 hexes next to the door. And I talked about how, for a certain reason, like it would have potentially been beneficial for us to create obstacles that block off the first room, but then we had no way of destroying them. So it would have gotten a bit messier since we didn't have Ethereal Vortex yet. But that you would be able to place 2 rocks to block off that first door before opening it. And Marcel was there, and he did seem to think this was fine. Right, so what I was saying, so basically, like, in that case, the way I would have exploited that would have been by creating those rocks there, which would prevent certain things from happening. I'm sure if anyone knows 19 what they're understand what I'm talking about, and then left a rift in that room, and then went to the end of the scenario myself, although it doesn't completely work in the end because of some scenario effects, but this is the theoretical idea, right? And then place a rift somewhere else, and then use the bottom of the Ethereal Vortex, which would then create like a wormhole, that anything that was still in the first room could then move through that wormhole to get to the end of the scenario. So yeah, I agree. It does feel like an exploit, so I'm not actually 100% sure that like you should be able to do it. So I still haven't done it myself. It also seems harder to actually take advantage of than you might think a lot of the times. And so I guess maybe it's fine, but anyway. Anywho. The question is, does the Cragheart long rest? I think not. I think we'd like to enter the room this turn. Oh yeah, so we wanted to create dark here. We're gonna use our potion during our long rest. We still have to choose our card to lose, but regardless, I'm gonna create the dark during the long rest. So what are we getting rid of? Kind of like all of our cards, huh? Tough that, huh? Maybe just this at this point. We're gonna be in some pretty tough fighting. Deck stacking is nice, but Envision is just better deck stacking. Not completely better, but it's good. And I don't know that I'm gonna have that many opportunities to be within range theory of multiple things not moving to use this bottom. Yeah, theoretically, exactly. You could. I think you could make it work by leaving someone in the first room. Uh-oh. Right. So we're going to solve this problem. Bye, Canary, you're here all the time. I appreciate that. You've been made a mod. The command that I always use, because I'm not that familiar with Twitch stuff, is like this. If you type that, obviously without the space before the /, it will remove their messages. Sorry, Lord Himbleshire. Yeah, you did use a spoiler. Like, when you want to refer to other classes, it's best to use the spoiler-free names, which you can find pretty easily. Well, if you actually go to the subreddit, and let's... I think there's more information on here. So, for example, that class you were referring to there, you would call that circles. Or, I mean, I could just quickly show you. Saw, circles, sun, 3 spears, note or music note, Cthulhu, Cthulhu face, tentacle face. Just call it Cthulhu because it tilts some people apparently because they think you're spoiling the fact that there's a Lovecraftian character in Gloomhaven. Eclipse, triangles or Triforce, angry face, lightning bolt, and then this one, it actually has nothing to do with the symbol, but this one's just called 2 mini because in the actual Gloomhaven box there are 2 separate boxes with its minis. So sorry, I didn't actually read the entire message. I just got to that point, and I immediately kind of... But yeah, anyway. That's why I had to remove your post. Sorry, don't worry about it. Alright. I think we're pretty good for entering the room here. So let's just go ahead and have the Cragheart take a short rest. Cragheart short rest is a little bit more palatable because... Yeah, I mean, like, Rumbling Advance is a good card, but I'm not going to die without it. Alright, so what is our plan here? We definitely want to use Shared Nightmare. That's why we created the Dark. Suppose we should probably use... I use Dark Frenzy, I'm using up all my ice generation right away, which is probably not the way to do it. I suppose I'll just use Empathetic Assault here. Especially because I'm going to be making 2 attacks, and I don't know what's after the +1. This way I'll get a +2 for one of the attacks, and then I'll flip 2 cards for the second attack, which is a pretty good outcome. Okay. As usual, the Cragheart is going to bust in as early as possible as well. I'm also going to drop some rocks. So generally, like, I mean, if you want, you can obviously pay attention to kind of how we play the Cragheart here. Pretty much every time you enter a new room, you'd like to have Rock Slide up, because Rock Slide is almost always going to be at its best the very first turn you enter a room, and you typically want to do this before enemies move, which is why Unstable Upheaval is such a good card for us, because it gives us 13 initiative. We're just going to use this as default move 2 to go in after our Mindthief, or, I mean, depends on your party's speed. Either you go in before or after. It doesn't really change too much. Even before can be better, but the Mindthief, unfortunately, isn't very flexible with our initiatives here. And drop down your rocks before the enemies move, which makes it more likely that you can prevent some number of them from getting to you and attacking, while also trying to deal a reasonable amount of damage. And you always want to try to balance dealing damage and preventing enemy attacks. 2 more damage is always nice, but preventing an attack 5 is even better. Okay, so the Diviner typically likes to use her double Rift combo, but it's not a guarantee that we're going to be in range to make that good. Actually, we probably should. For any melee enemies in this room, I think that's reasonable. Plus, getting 2 Rifts in the room sooner is actually going to be nice for us, because then we can go into Ethereal Vortex that much sooner. This one will only be able to move 2, so it might not reach it, but with 2 more Rifts, we could easily hit 3 with Ethereal Vortex. Yeah, fair enough. Dwarf. Correct. If you are using actual stamina potions, then usually Rock Slide will be, as he said, probably your first 2 actions in each room, or in the most difficult room. Like here in this giant room, obviously we would go Rock Slide, Stamina Potion, Rock Slide 100% of the time. But you're eliminated. All right, let's get into this new room and see what's up. The annoying thing is we have to decide now if we should go down to 11 initiative. Will our initiative matter that much afterwards? 11 initiative can matter because there are bears here. This is actually really annoying. Problem is we don't know when the enemies are going to act. I don't think our initiative is going to matter much for most of our other actions. Like this, we're just hitting enemies. Stun could matter, but then we'll have a 13. I think it is actually worth it using Boots of Speed Blind, which is a little bit crazy, right? But I think it's too risky because there's only 1 melee enemy type in this next room, which are Cave Bears, and Cave Bears have a tendency to go pretty fast. If we use this combo, we don't get to Rift anyone. That's going to be awful for us. It's going to be really, really bad. So I think it's better to use the Boost of Speed here to hedge on the possibility that the Cave Bears go between 11 and, from 11 to 20, which I think is possible. Well, not 100%. Anyway, so we're going to go at 11 on the Diviner, actually, after the 10 here, or 7 here on the Mindthief. So we're going to use the bottom of Empathetic Assault. Heal for 2, Strengthened, and Perform 2. So we do have no Stone Golems and everything else, so let's see if we were right. See what we did there. No, we didn't have to. But I think it's still safer in the end. Ooh, I think they shouldn't be in range. Okay. How much range on that elite? 5? Yeah, it should be alright, right? 5? Yeah, I gotta be careful. Alright, let's set up this giant room, shall we? The traps are actually further up than I thought. I thought the traps were all in the back. It confused us with another scenario that's quite similar. I mean, similar in layout, at least. So we actually could have used these traps a little bit. At the same time, the traps are best against the bears, which are kind of the least threatening enemies in this room, so that's not true, actually. Bears are always threatening. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a little bit of push. We still have the compass, though, so it should be okay. Yeah, don't worry, Humbleshire, it's not interrupting. So maybe you've been misunderstanding how initiative works. Each turn, you play 2 cards, and you choose one of the 2 cards to be your leading card, which will be like the first card you flip over. Here, it's always our top card, but if we play in... Normally when I'm playing in like regular Gloomhaven, I'll put my 2 cards like this, with my leading initiative as the first one face down, And so I'll flip over my 2 cards and I'll show this is my initiative, and then I have my other card behind. So basically, you only care about one of the card's initiatives. The only reason the second card's initiative would matter when you play the 2, the non-leading, is if you ever have a tie with another player with your leading initiative. Then you see the second card's initiative. So this way we can play a fast card and a slow card together and still go at a fast initiative. Which, like Biocanary says, basically we have this card on Table Upheaval, which, I mean, at early levels, occasionally you might use this top loss. It's honestly not a bad loss at early levels. Although, again, at the end of the scenario, because you don't want to lose your 13 initiative. But after that, it's literally a 13 initiative move 2. But it's so important because, as I said, it's so good for us to get our rocks down before enemies go that just having a move 2 for 13 initiative is actually great for this class. Okay. Set up. All right, what do I have for monsters? So we're gonna have 2 regular, 2 elite living spirits. Healthy chunk of living spirits. What are they up to? Standard. Love to see standard stuff. If only there was some sort of an ability in the game that would like provoke them into playing a standard action, performing a standard action. Yeah. Okay. What about bears? We've got 1 elite, 1 regular bear. And then we have 1 elite and 2 regular drake. This is a serious room. Forgot about it. Ooh. Oops. Yeah, it is getting to be rather hot in here. I may have to turn the air conditioning back on. Crazy because it's only like 28 outside today, which is actually a really nice temperature, but being under the rooftop, so hot. Okay, so, well, yeah, I think I'm going to turn on the air conditioning. I'm also going to quickly go grab another glass of water because I've actually already drank all of it. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let me know if the mic is picking up the air conditioning noise when I talk. If it is, I'll turn it back off in 2 minutes after it cools down the room just a tiny bit. If it's not, it'll be fine, but please do let me know if it actually is. All right, so we have 1 more movement if we want it. Where do we want to go? Biocanary, you're a little bit off on that one, actually. You said you can wait until it's your turn to determine which card you want to use for your top. Oh, for the top. Okay, sorry. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's correct. I was confused because you were talking about leading cards. Never mind. Yep, never mind. All good. I thought you were meaning for the initiative. Sorry. All good, all good. Okay, so it would be good to hit this. If we go to here, we're probably still fine, right? We can still get our disarm rift here and here. The bears will run into those. So we get to use the top of Shared Nightmare here, Consuming Dark. But hitting the living spirits with an attack 3 when they have 3 shield just kind of sucks. Getting poison on them isn't bad, but poison on the bears is also really good because they've got a lot of health. I'm still not in range for the dragon or the drakes to attack me, right? The elite has 5 range, the others have 4 range, so 5 range from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just outside of range. We're still in range to get disarm rifts there and there, so we're fine on that front as well. Yeah, that's a fair point. Your Cragheart would feel a lot worse if you had to use the initiatives on the cards every time because you've got a lot of bad initiatives. All right. So we don't worry about it. I mean, let's be clear. I'm always here, happy to help. It's never an issue. Ask as many questions as you have. I'm happy to help people get better. I mean, like, this isn't just to show people Gloomhaven play. It's to help new people with Gloomhaven who come to the stream. So it's not a problem. Never worry about that. And I appreciate the subscription nonetheless. All right, so we're going to use the top of Shared Nightmare. We're going to gain 1 experience. We're going to consume Dark. We're going to create Ice. We're going to do attack 3, range 4, target 2, poison, curse. I think we'll target the regular with our first attack because we know we're getting a +2 there. I'd rather get more damage on the regular, again, just to eliminate as many enemies as quickly as possible. Dwarf, are people on the Facebook group dicks about rules questions? I've never been to the Facebook group. I don't really spend any time on Facebook, to be perfectly honest. So, all right, so we attack 4 and then 3 in that order. So on 4, we flip with these 2 with advantage. We end up with a +2, so we do 5 damage here. 17. I'll do the 2 curses afterwards. And then on the elite, because it's range 4 to there without a problem. So it's an attack 3 still with advantage. Yeah, we don't actually have to take the stun. I think we actually don't want the stun because we want it, like, if we stun it here, then it's not going to run up and disarm itself, which is actually worse for us, right? I guess in that case, then we would have the option to do a default move on the Diviner, but I don't think there's actually anywhere we want to move. Fair enough, Lord Himmelshire, good luck. There's always at least 1 or 2 who go straight to will if you actually read the rulebook. Really? What? Ugh. That sort of stuff drives me crazy. Admittedly, though, I think the subreddit is quite good about this. Oh no, Dwarf is talking about the Facebook group, not Reddit. I actually haven't gotten involved in those threads much recently, so maybe it's gotten a little bit worse on Reddit as well, but... Uh-oh. Do I have some moderating to do? Like I said, I haven't been on Reddit, on the subreddit for like a week, which is really bad as a moderator, but it's a really busy time for me, so... Anyway, so yeah, I think we'll not take a stun. We just get a +1 here, because the stun is a beneficial effect. So we just get a 4 on the elite. Putting it on 29. It's rare that you don't want to take a stun, but this is actually the case. Because this way we'll get a disarm for 2 rounds. It's true that the subreddit is unnecessarily hostile to house rules. This actually goes into something, a term that I actually learned from one of our fellow moderators and generally excellent human being, Themris, except for his unabashed love for one of the least enjoyable classes in the game, but that's neither here nor there. No, I'm just kidding. So there's something from some podcast called Hello Internet, I think is what it's called, and they refer to something called cheer pressure, which is something I understood before, but I hadn't had a word for, and this is actually a great word for it, which is basically like when people like something, they have this tendency to want to really strongly emphasize that that thing that they like is perfect and like that there can never be anything wrong with it, and to be like very hostile towards any sort of criticism, even constructive criticism, or like I mean, I rarely provide criticism these days because I don't post very much anymore. But I mean, so a house rule, for example, is someone basically saying, so I think the game is great, which is why I play Gloomhaven, but there's just this one small thing that I don't like or I don't think is good, so I'm going to use a house rule to change it, right? And so that's basically like to the people who would apply this sort of cheer pressure, that's like saying that something in Gloomhaven isn't perfect, which that's fine, right? Like Isaac is an excellent designer. Gloomhaven is the most popular designer board game in the world right now, and is an excellent board game with a ton going for it. But it doesn't have to be perfect, right? You can still love a game without it being perfect. So yeah. Anyway, I think this is why people are hostile towards house rules, which is unfortunate. D&D communities have had that forever. Okay. Unfortunately, like I said, I've never actually played D&D. I mean, I've played like D&D based games, but never actual D&D. So I don't actually know about that. But yes, by a canary, the Gloomhaven community does have that in spades, I think. Which is a shame, but, you know, it is what it is. All right, so we're done on the Mindthief. So then we go on the Diviner, who's going 11. Kind of wasted Boots of Speed, but it was better safe than sorry. We're going to do our same thing. 2 rifts. So we're going to place 1 rift here. This is actually enough for both of the bears, right? Let's see. The elite bear, once to hit 2 targets, has 5 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the elite bear will actually go to here. Right? 3, 4. Yeah, it will go to here. I guess it depends where we place our obstacles. That is actually a good point. I guess we always want to place a rock. So the Cragheart's probably moving, I guess, onto this rift. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that lets us hit all of them with rocks, but that's good. Okay. Like rock here and here. Oh no, we only get 1 more rock, so then like 1 over here or whatever. Okay, that works. So in that case, so the Cragheart's here, and this is just going to go like that. But if we place our last rock here, I'm just considering, because it wouldn't be bad to have another rift that's a little bit more central to make Ethereal Vortex easier to use. Right now, Ethereal Vortex is actually going to kind of suck. Yeah, I think that's probably fine, because I don't actually, and then I can actually pull one of these into it as well, which will actually allow me to disarm one of them for the turn, which is not bad. So yeah, so I'll use my Void Snare, placing a rift here, and now making it so that all enemies that enter a rift this round gain disarm. Then I'll use Fount to go 1, 2, 3, targeting here, because here I have line of sight, placing a rift there. But I can't actually pull the, can't pull this because I actually, oh no, I do actually have line of sight there, right? Because these weird doors, right? Yeah, it would only be like this that I wouldn't have line of sight. Here I actually do have line of sight. It's so weird. It's like bending backwards to the door. But because of how like these actually work for line of sight, this actually does work for line of sight. So here to there. Yep, so that actually works. So in that case, I will pull this into here, which gives it disarm. Ah, but that'll change how I place my rocks to deal damage. But is disarming one of these worth, like, is it worth getting 2 less damage to prevent one of their attacks? I could then just go like what, rock here, rock here, rock here. Not place any for the bears. No, but that doesn't work anymore because then I need to place 1 here, otherwise this bear won't get disarmed. Huh. Yeah, you're not wrong, Dwarf. The problem is, well, to not get into this rant too much, the reason why so much of that other stuff is bad with Gloomhaven rules, for the most part, is because I think a lot of people just rush to make Gloomhaven content because of the popularity of Gloomhaven. Like, I didn't, I think, make my first video with Gloomhaven until I'd played it for 6 months, and even then I saw a lot of rules wrong, right? And I didn't start streaming Gloomhaven until I played it for a year and a half or something. So I actually wanted to be good at the game before I started making video content for it so that I didn't misinform people, because you know, even a year into playing Gloomhaven, there were still a lot of things that I didn't understand completely with the rules. There's so many like rules interactions that you can get wrong. So yeah, I think a lot of people just care more about creating content as quickly as possible so as to like take advantage of timeliness rather than making sure that they create something which is correct. So is there any way? No, there's not. So we basically have to choose 2 direct damage to one of these is worth a lot. It really is. Ugh, this is annoying. Yeah, that's fair. How much do these hit for? The regulars? 4 damage. Disarming it is also not bad because it does force it to move up. Yeah, I think I'll live without the 2 damage. Let's pull. And you're disarmed. Okay, Cragheart's up next. We're going to use the bottom of Unstable Upheaval's default move 2. We're going to go 1, 2 to here. We get to drop 3 rocks. Drop always a rock here because this is 2 direct damage, 2 things with 4 shield. That's pretty amazing. I have to drop a rock here now, otherwise, yeah, this is going to hit. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually, no, this works now because this will actually run through this rift. Because its focus is the Mindthief. It wants to hit the Mindthief plus 1 other target because it's doing 2 target. So it will actually go. It can go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So you don't actually need to place a rock there. So that's fair. So we need to place a rock that touches you. That can be here or here, basically. Here is probably better. It's more central. It's easier for us to use it with Heaving Swing. 2 damage here. And so then we get to place 1 more rock. We could also place it here, which would cause this to go like this. And this would end up just disarmed here. And this one here, rather than this being disarmed here. I'm not sure which one of these is actually better. Probably keeping them clustered together is not bad. Yeah, alright, so let's place this rock here. Plus having a line of 2 obstacles is potentially good because it allows us, well, it'd be tough to hit a Heaving Swing through both of these, but still. Alright, so 2 damage to this Living Spirit as well. And we gain 1 experience, and we create Earth. Alright, I'm going to quickly blow my nose, sorry. Alright, back. Sorry about that. So, Living Spirits go now. We got the 2 elites. And they're just doing standard actions, so attack 5, range 5 with 4 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already in range. These 2 are equidistant, but the Mindthief has lower initiative. So attack on the Mindthief. Okay, 5 damage. 5. This is going to be close, actually, for Mindthief. Uh-oh. Might have to lose a card here. That would be a bad start. Okay, number 2 will attack the Cragheart because Cragheart is actually closer to this one. Good. -1. Would have loved to see that on the Mindthief. That would have made us much safer, but I guess we'll take it wherever we can get it. So 4 to the Cragheart. Should have maybe used the compass here. No. None of the melee enemies are near traps. I'd rather try to use the compass for a trap, I think. Alright. So then number 3 is disarmed. So it's just going to go to here. It's good that we actually did place this rock here, because if we hadn't, since this would take this spot, this would have actually just stopped. Well, I guess it would have stopped here, but this rock will make it so it still goes around this way. Okay, and then number 5 needs to move up 1, 2, or 2. Oh no, it only needs to move, right? Yeah, that's 4 range. Mindthief and Cragheart equidistant, so attacks the Mindthief. Please not a +1. Oh no, that's so bad. All right, we have to lose a card. We're gonna need this for Invis, but I guess we might just have to long rest out of Invis, so this is our weakest card. Oh god, that's rough. +0, +1. Brutal. Okay, the cave bears go. So as we've already said, this one goes 1, 2, 3 to here. This one goes 1, 2 to here. They're both disarmed. For this round. Shooting drakes aren't in range of anyone. Well, so technically you can't completely block a section of a room off with obstacles. Again, like I said, the only way that you can potentially do that is, like I said, if you have a door that's closed and you block off in front of the door before opening the door, which I guess technically is allowed. In that case, yeah, it would be pretty silly. But it's not the only instance where you can actually lock yourself out of winning a scenario. So there are actually a couple scenarios in the game. Well, there's at least one scenario in the game where someone has to make it to a certain obstacle, and for example, the Cragheart can destroy an obstacle. So you actually are allowed to destroy the obstacle, in which case it is impossible for you to win the scenario. So sometimes it is actually possible for you to do something in Gloomhaven that locks you out of winning, which I don't mind because kind of your own fault, right? All right, and that's the end of the round. Mindthief's hurting here, huh? We kind of want an endurance potion, but at the same time, all of our tops and bottoms are good here. There's 4 health left. Still strengthened, right? So this should kill this. This has 4 health, 3 shields, so effective 7. And if we consume the ice for attack, we get effective 8 with advantage. Yeah. Only got what? I mean, there's a very small chance of a miss, but I think it's safe. And we can endurance potion this bottom here so that we get an extra turn, which I think is probably worth it. All right. So got our rifts. Can move 3 and hit 3 targets. Yeah, I think that's fine. Go Ethereal Vortex. And what for bottom? Attack is not bad. Yeah, that's probably better than doing Dimensional Divide, I think. As for the Cragheart, got a lot of incoming damage this round. Maybe the shield is good? Even the bears aren't attacking this round, so it seems like a good turn. I mean, we can't really ever let the bears attack, I suppose. Trying to figure something out here. I do miss having the move 4 jump on Meteor level 7 here. Without a doubt. I just try taking this out with Massive Boulder plus... I guess just eliminating 1 attacker is fine. Oh no, I don't even need advantage. I know what I have on top of my deck. I guess I'm just going to play this and try to take out the Living Spirit. I'm using Massive Boulder without any splash, but more than anything, I just need to eliminate attackers here. There's just way too many attackers. The Mindthief should kill this one. These 2 aren't attacking. I'm going to have to accept that these 2... Oh no, but that actually sucks because this Rift can only make it to attack this one, huh? This Rift can move... Actually, this Rift can go to here. This Rift can go to here. This Rift can go to here. So we can actually hit 4 targets if we go before the Mindthief kills that one. Not so easy, though. So what if the Mindthief doesn't kill this, then? But then we have to be sure that we kill it ourselves on the Diviner. We can't allow that to attack. Alright, so what if we try to go earlier, then? I guess 23 works. Should typically be before Living Spirits, and giving 1 shield is also fine. Suppose the Mindthief should still play these 2 cards, and I guess we'll just see where we go. Worst case scenario, we can always like move far and go stun this one and go invis if we have to. Alright. This can be rough, but 13, that's fine. Seeing them early initiatives is not an issue. So Living Spirits are going after the Diviner, that's what's important. The downside is they're healing, so if the Diviner doesn't get kills here, this is actually going to be quite bad for us. We have a power potion, we do, so we should be able to kill here and... No, they have effective 7, and we're attacking for effective 4 with advantage. No, we shouldn't actually be able to kill them. The Cragheart can help out. Suppose we should be able to find something. Alright. So let's have the Mindthief go stun an elite, then, I suppose. What are the... So the Drakes are attacking, so I am going to have to go invis. Since I'm going to have to go invis anyway, I might as well... I mean, I don't need to Endurance Potion here, because I can just go late at a long rest, which I'm like kind of fine with doing. So, and that actually works quite well here as well. So let's use the Bottom of Dark Frenzy as a move 3, attack 3, range 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to use our Boots of Striding. 2 more. Go 4, 5 to here. The goal being to essentially prevent all the Living Spirits from attacking. It's a shame, because actually, is it maybe not better? This is a great opportunity to use the Battle Axe. Ugh, but I don't prevent one of the Living Spirits from attacking, but this is so good. Battle Axe both of these. So much damage. I mean, I don't have to worry about them this round, but I am going to have to worry about them again next round if I don't deal with them. Yeah, honestly, it's probably better to do that. Alright. Let's do it then. So this is actually kind of interesting. So, I'm actually... Oh, no, this sucks. Oh, this does suck. Because... actually stunning them here sucks. So basically, alright. If I use the Battle Axe, I turn my attack into a 2-hex target like this, attack like this. But Frigid Blade only allows me to consume ice to give +2 to a single attack. Which means I can't actually, like... I mean, I can use Frigid Blade first, and then use the Battle Axe, but that doesn't change anything how it applies. Frigid Blade still just makes a single attack, so one of the 2 attacks from Battle Axe better. However, Battle Axe makes your attack like this. So this is the actual attack. So if I consume the ice for the attack itself and make an attack 4 stun, well 6 because of mine's weakness, then I actually get to make an attack 6 stun targeting both the enemies. So it's actually so much better if I can use the Battle Axe on a stun version of Frigid Apparition than the normal version of Frigid Apparition where I'm using Frigid Blade to get more damage. To basically, again, stun both of the Cave Bears. But because I'm going before them this round, I maybe could have gone later here, but it was too risky because the spirits could have gone earlier and I needed to eventually stun them. But I think I'm actually going to go with my original plan then, just to eliminate Living Spirit attackers. Alright, so like I said, 1, 2, 3, Boots of Striding, 4, 5, like so. This gives us, we already gained our XP, we did not. So we gain 1 XP, we create a new ice, and we do an attack 3, range 3 with the Bottom of Dark Frenzy. We're going to attack Living Spirit, Elite Living Spirit number 2, and we're going to use our stun powder here. Again, just trying to stop as many attackers as possible because yeah, we're hurting here without a doubt. And we don't really want them healing. Alright, so here's our attack 3, range 3. I'm also just going to use my healing potion now before I forget. Use my attack 3, range 3 on the Elite Living Spirit. Stun. I kind of don't want to see that crit there. Would much rather see the crit with this, but there's no way we can do that in the right ordering. Alright, so our 3 turns into a 6. We do get 2 damage, so it's not bad. We're down to 5, and stunning it thanks to stun powder. And then we use the Top of Frigid Apparition, consuming the old ice, gaining 1 experience, which gives us an attack 6 stun, targeting number 1 here, still with advantage. So 2 damage there as well. Yeah, not ideal distribution for Flip. We'll survive. And I believe we do mean to invis Because 3 Drakes hitting us is just too much. They hit for 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4. So we're looking at 13 incoming damage. We have 8. So even if we, yeah, +0, +0, +0, we still end up losing 2 cards. Because losing 1 card, oh no, yeah, we lose 2. Because losing 1 card is kind of okay, because we have 1 card in our hand. Although I also really don't want to lose Corrupting Erase, but yeah, I am forced to invis here. It's a little premature, but it was kind of necessary to get over here, I think, and help out with these Elite Living Spirits. Bears just weren't the priority right there. Alright, so the bears go. So this one's going to move to here, and this one's going to move to here. Because they're armed, so they just walk to their focus, and the Mindthief is invisible, so they're both focused on the Cragheart. Okay, so now it is the Cragheart's turn. So if I Massive Boulder this, Piercing Bow does 1 damage to each of these, and then I guaranteed kill it. Otherwise, if I Massive Boulder just one of these and save my Piercing Bow, doing 1 damage here, then the Rift moves up, makes an effective attack 5 because of Power Potion. This will be at 3 health, so it'll have effective 6, but I'm attacking with advantage. I should always get a +1 or better with this deck with advantage. I think 5 because I'll have Power Potion. But yeah, that's actually fine. I think I do damage more efficiently this way. So in that case, should I just attack with... No, because I need the 1 direct damage on it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I could move this into this trap with the compass, which is not bad. I mean, I can even do this afterwards. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we're going to begin by using the bottom Kinetic Assault. We're just going to take a step back to here so we don't have disadvantage. I guess having disadvantage here doesn't even matter. So these 2 spots aren't adjacent, so we're not dealing 1 damage to the Diviner with this. It doesn't affect us. And we just have 2 +1s, which honestly I don't really mind drawing my +1s. I'd like to get better than that. And I mean, it's not like I'm going to move up, but then I guess I could move and grab the coin. Why not, right? Alright, so yeah, let's attack bear number 4. I mean, I guess I can move and grab the coin first and then just save more +1s. And honestly, the +1s aren't bad for me, so yeah. Let's move back to here. Are the Drakes... Hold on, what happens if we go there? Drakes have 4 movement, 4 range, or 4 movement, 5 range. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. Easily not enough. 1, 2... Yeah, and this one will always hit. They'll hit the Diviner instead of the Cragheart. That's actually okay for the Diviner to take 1 attack. Because we have 12 health there, and then, like, I mean, the Cragheart's going to end up tanking most of the attacks anyway. So yeah, this way we also just grab a coin, which, you know, getting that value. Alright, so then I use the top of Massive Boulder, I create Earth, I do an attack 3, range 3, targeting bear number 4. Level +1, +1 from the poisons. This does 5 damage to this bear, putting it down to 12. 1 direct damage to this living spirit, putting it down to 3. I think I am just going to go ahead and use my compass here. I don't think it's really getting better than this. So I'm going to use the compass. I'm going to make this bear move into this trap here. And I guess I can... No, there's no real reason to move it any further. So the trap does 9 direct damage, putting the bear down to 3. I'm just using it on the bear because the other things have flying, so they can't be affected by traps. Okay. So we're done. Now the Diviner goes. Hope we kill the spirit, huh? We played like that. Alright. So we're going to use the top of Ethereal Vortex. Move all Rift tokens up to 2 hexes. Attack 2, target all enemies occupying a hex containing a Rift token. Pierce 2 and curse. Here we go. So we're going to use our Eagle Eye Goggles, as well as our Minor Power Potion. I think I want to stun the Elite Bear as well, because I don't want to have to deal with this. So I'm also, when it gets to the bear, I'm just announcing this now, just for the simplicity's sake. I'm going to use my Stun Powder, which is during your attack, add stun to a single attack. So my single attack that I make on the bear on the Elite Bear with this, I'll add stun. Will I actually be hitting that bear? Yes, I will. All right. So I can move all my rifts up to 2 hexes. So this one, 2, because why not? So yeah, it's always going to go like this. So this rift is going to go to here. Actually, kill us. Kill this one for us. This rift is going to go to here. This rift is going to go to here. This rift is going to go to here. 4 targets. Oops, no. Not to the Mindthief. God. No one loves the Mindthief, huh? Alright. This is the best Theory Vortex I've gotten yet. It obviously took a fair amount of setup, but that is nice. Alright. So we've used our power potion. So we're making an attack 3, pierce 2, curse with advantage, targeting all of these, with stun, targeting the cave bear. Alright, so anyone who's watched the stream for a while knows for important moments like this, I don't ever dare choose the order for the attacks, because again, I'm hitting all 4 of these. So what are the important ones? I'm not counting on this one dying, I guess. That's not such a big deal to me. This one I am counting on dying. That's pretty important. I'd really like to get the kill here. This one's pretty likely, right? We're making an attack 4. But anyway, so I really need to get a kill here. I really need to get a kill here. A kill here would be a nice bonus, and whatever we live here doesn't matter at all. So we've got Living Spirit 3, Living Spirit 5, Bear 4, and Elite Bear 3. Can anyone give me the order in which I should flip for these targets? Because if I choose, it'll be the wrong choice. This is just a given. Like, everyone knows this if you've watched the stream long enough. Somehow I and Isio, because he also always chooses wrong, have a knack for making the wrong choices for this. Thank you, Bye Canary. So Spirit 5, Bear 4, Spirit 3, Bear 3. Okay, Spirit 5 first. Here we go. Is there anything to be said for using the weighted net on this spirit? If we don't kill it... Use Rock Slide, I hear it's good. If I had stamina potions, I would be using more Rock Slide. So if we netted this one, it actually would stop it from attacking. If we don't kill it. So how likely is it that we kill it? That's the question. So our attack is it has effective 7 health and our attack is effective 5, so we would need a +2 or better. We do have how many +2 or betters actually do we have in our deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 17 followed by 6 out of 16. A little bit more complicated than that. No, it's basically like that. Not completely, yeah, because the second ones are... No, the second ones are rolling, it doesn't change anything, yeah. We're under 50% to kill. Because we could also use the weighted net on this, but I don't think that's necessary. Because... Oh, wait a second. We not... Oh no, this is a melee attack, not a range attack, so it doesn't require line of sight. Wait, does it? Now, this is where this gets weird, right? So I know if we have range, it requires line of sight. But no, I don't think it does, because Inferno I think doesn't. But Marcel kind of said something different with how like you couldn't use things that affected invis things because even with effect. I think thematically it feels like you shouldn't need it. I don't actually remember. So previously I would always have argued that you don't need line of sight for non-ranged attacks. I believe this is correct. That being said, I'm not actually sure about that because there was like a weird thing that came up with how some stuff works with invis, like non-attack abilities. Yeah. Let's see if this is... I don't think this is going to be in the FAQ either. Yeah, it's not in the Diviner FAQ. We're going to go with not needing... I mean... I guess we can play around all the possibilities here no matter what. Yeah, let's just play it safe so that there's no asterisks. I think you don't need line of sight for a melee attack like this. But I can actually play around it regardless, because I'm going to use this bottom to move. So I'm going to do teleport 4. Teleport to any unoccupied hex within 4 hexes of you. Shield 1, affect all allies within range 3. So I'm just going to teleport to here. From here... Oh no, from here I won't. Let me teleport to here then. Yeah, I mean, here I have line of sight of all the things. The only question is, will I be targeted? No, I wouldn't be targeted by anything inside the Cragheart, so the Cragheart will benefit from the shield. Okay, yeah. So I will just teleport to here. This way I have line of sight, so there's no question. Even though I do believe that we don't need it. Anyway, Ethereal Vortex, so the ordering was... And so like I said, we actually are going to use the weighted net as well when hitting Spirit number 5, because I don't believe we kill it. We're under 50% to kill it, at least. So weighted netting it prevents it from getting a range to attack anything, so this kind of eliminates another attacker as well, which is not bad. All right, so on Spirit 5 first. We did get the +2. Oh well. Oh well. Well, this is why we're happy to have Bi-Canary Shoes, at least thus far. So our attack was base 3 +2, turns it into a 5 +2 pierce, so essentially 7, because these things have 3 shield, so the 2 pierce removes them. Anyway, so 7, and this thing again had effective 7, because 4 +3, so we actually get the kill. No curse, but that's okay, because we killed it. Which is better, generally. Alright, so then next up we have Bear 4. Okay, here we just +0. Nice, Bi-Canary. You're thus far you're running hot. So here our attack easily kills. Actually, even a -1 would have worked, although I don't believe we have -1s in our deck anymore. Oh, wait a second. Uh-oh. That's 2 kills? We didn't kill anything in the first room. No. No, the Cragheart ended up killing it with with Rumbling Advance. Alright. We actually only can kill 1 more enemy. Oh no, my check mark! I'm gonna kill this one too. Uh-oh. We're going to kill this one. I mean, I still do want to kill it. Alright, so Spirit 3. Nailed it. Whew. Big time. Alright, well those are the 3 enemies we can kill. Who knew we would turn into a damage deal, huh? Alright, and then here's the bear, which again, to specify, this is the attack we use the Sun Powder on. Okay. +1. Nice job, Bi-Canary. So our attack was for 3 base, +1 for the poison, +1 for our modifier, so we get 5 total here. Bring this down to 24. And stunning it. Well, thank you. And we give them just 1 curse. But again, we'll take it. Alright. Then the Spitting Drakes go. So again, 4 movement no matter what, 5 range for the elite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3 to there. I'll move the other ones. This one's going to attack the Cragheart. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. Okay, so number 2 attacks the Cragheart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to apply Muddle and make an attack for 7 on the Cragheart. Whew, jeez. We should probably just lose a card for this, to be honest. To be 8 damage with us having 18 life, we would end up having to lose, I think, more. I mean, this is basically the high end. This game looks very confusing. Hey, safe. It can be confusing if you don't understand the rules. Once you understand the rules, it's kind of easy to say for most games, but it's actually not too confusing. It's kind of a natural flow to it, but there are a lot of rules to digest in the first place. I mean, the rulebook is 53 pages, so. Yeah. Honestly, we can just lose Nature's Lift. I mean, I want healing, but I can't use combat healing at this point anyway. I think it's better. I mean, like, in a giant fight with this many enemies left, would I play a loss, which is a free action for a heal 8? Yeah, I would. So I'll just happily lose that card here, I think. Okay, so that was all the Spitting Drakes. Living Spirits are stunned. In the end, the shielding didn't do anything. Kind of wasted, but played it for initiative, so be it. Alright, so those 2 lose their stuns. They don't do any healing, and that's the end of the round. I heard this game is good, and there's a lot of games I want to try, but no one seems to play board games that I know. Yeah, well, this game is very good. I agree. So, you can go. Let me just link this. So this is the subreddit for the game. You'll find a lot of resources there, which will do a better job of teaching you. This stream is beginner friendly, but is not really a stream to explain the rules. I mean, we're doing like spoilery stuff so much, and I do answer like beginners questions, but I can't really explain all the rules of the game. But if you go there, you should be able to find like up in the rules and general resources page, or if you just like Google like Gloomhaven rules, you can find the rules pretty easily. And then as far as finding people to play with, so this, like here, I'm actually playing this on Tabletop Simulator. So Tabletop Simulator, you can typically find, I mean, there was just Steam sales. The next one actually probably won't be for a while, so you'll have to pick it up for like 20 bucks instead of 10 bucks, but still not very expensive. And once you have Tabletop Simulator, you can play Gloomhaven, this game itself, for free. The mod is free. I mean, there are a couple different mods, both of which are quite good, which are completely free once you own Tabletop Simulator. And then there's like a Discord group. I can't link that. I mean, I don't have that off the top of my head, but maybe someone in chat can get it for you. Otherwise, you might be able to find that on the resources in the subreddit. If not, you can just ask on the subreddit, and you can probably find people to play with that way. A lot of people do play with just with other people on Tabletop Simulator. That being said, you should probably try to teach yourself the rules first, like watching a video and then like going through a little bit by yourself before you play with anyone else, because it is pretty complex. That's true. Okay, so Mindthief long rest, I think. Let's see what everyone else is doing if that's happening. We did flip a dark. We do have that possibility of doing a little deck stack. Not be the worst thing ever. If the Mindthief long rest, the two of us can just like kind of kite away, and then these enemies shouldn't really hit us much. We did lose our top heal though, so we don't really have anything to do while kiting away is the big issue. Maybe we should lose something else then. Maybe lose the bottom heal instead, and we actually will play this top heal here. I mean, it's just a heal 2 on ourselves. This kind of sucks, right? I mean, this is the same thing. I could actually use this as a range attack. Do we have anything in range 5? I mean, yeah, we know we have something in range 5. Yeah, it actually works then. Alright, so let's just do that. We lost a card, so we can even just Endurance Potion here, just to use our fastest initiative to move 2. Because the goal is just to move away so that less of these enemies can hit us. 21-26 isn't a big difference. I guess maybe I'd rather just... I don't actually mind not getting an extra turn. The thing is, if I Endurance Potion, it's one more turn before I get to Rock Slide again. And that I don't really want. So I think I'm actually just going to use Cataclysm to move it. Just a move 3 lets me move one more than... No, but I guess I've got my boots. Never mind, no. And 26 versus 21 could be significant. So I can always move enough. In other words, playing tonight, first time with level 9 character, Cthulhu is looking forward to trying out that card. You know the one. Other players tonight are Too Many and Sun. Wait, who's the level 9 character? You're talking about Cthulhu? Because Cthulhu doesn't have an exciting level 9 card. I would assume when you're talking about that one, you'd be talking about the level 7 card, which maybe you would have picked up at 8, although I don't even know that would have been the case anymore. Unfortunately, the other level 7 isn't really very compelling. Anyway, we probably need to move early with the Diviner and run away, and we can do some deck stacking while running. Rip other level 7, yeah. Cthulhu is 9? Interesting. I'm not sure what you would... What would be... Oh! Oh, I understand. Just because it's an interesting card. Yeah, I mean, alright, that card's, like, definitely an interesting effect, so I get what you mean. I was just thinking, like, because there's no real, like, a lot of classes have huge power spikes at level 9. Cthulhu... Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I understand what you mean. But, yeah, it's just, like... I mean, like, the card's fine, don't get me wrong. I guess, like I said, the person's just interested in trying it out because of the uniqueness of the card, how it does some like weird stuff. All right, so long rest here works. This allows us to like not get attacked here, heal, and move away with these two. All right. Not moving, not attacking, but cursing can be bad. And I mean, stun. So I guess it didn't need to stun this if we were kiting away, but it should be fine. Alright, so the Diviner's up first. I'm going to use the bottom of Protective Aura as a default move 2. I think it's in my best interest just to move as far away as possible so that they don't reach us and so less hit us. I should really actually check, but I think this is the best regardless. Then I'm going to use the top of Envision the Course, gaining 1 experience, assuming dark, and I get to stack 2 decks. I'm certainly stacking the Mindthief deck. Okay. So we know we need to advantage past this at some point. We don't necessarily need to advantage immediately. We're gonna have to go kind of move a lot. I'm trying to think. No, it makes sense to do it like this and then that thing. This way we have as long as possible to wait to play Empathetic Assault. And even if we play Empathetic Assault turn 1, we still get past the miss. Alright, so the other deck we stack is a little bit more interesting. So it's either our deck or the monster deck. But stacking the monster deck here, I mean, I guess how many of them are actually going to get to attack? So the Spinning Drakes aren't, I guess no attacks coming this turn. So yeah, let's stack the monster deck. Just knowing what damage is incoming could be useful. Maybe finding some of those curses? Wow. Not finding the curses. So the question is, do we want a -2? A -2 is a pretty bad card for them, but all these enemies hit so hard that a -2 still hurts a lot. I guess, like, from Living Spirits, it doesn't hurt so much, and from regular, yeah, I think I will take the -2 still. I mean, we'll go like this. Okay. So then the Cragheart goes, so we're going to use the top of Earthen Clod. Assuming Earth, gaining 1 experience, we get an attack 2, range 5, immobilize. I mean, immobilizing this doesn't actually do anything, neither does this. Immobilizing these, if I get to range, I mean, I would have to move up. It doesn't quite work. I guess I'm not going to Endurance Potion. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Blunt Force. I'm going to move 1, 2 to here, because no matter what, I'm just getting an attack 2. So in this case, I might as well just take the attack 2 on the bear, but I might as well strengthen myself first to negate. Actually, I guess the muddle doesn't really matter so much. At the same time, +1s are okay for us. Yeah. So we'll gain 1 experience. We'll strengthen ourselves with Blunt Force. Again, not Endurance Potion in here. Does lose us a turn, but it gets us to Rock Slide 1 turn sooner, which I think is fine. Alright, and so Earthen Cloud gives us an attack 2, range 5 immobilize, targeting bear number 3, +1 from the poison, +1 from our modifier, so we get 4 damage. We can immobilize as well, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so the Spitting Drakes go, they're not moving, have nothing in range. Cave Bear is both immobilized and stunned, so does nothing. Living Spirit. The Elites go, they have 4 movement. 4, 1, brutal. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I guess that's why it didn't make sense to stack the Diviner deck either. So it's 2 curses to the Cragheart, and 1 curse to the Diviner. And they create ice again, which is actually good for us. Okay, and then the Mindthief does her long rest, refreshes this, heals for 2. We're going to not bring back the Mind's Weakness. Yeah, because we've got 6 cards here, so we'll go down to 5. But we've already got 1 card in our hand, so we don't lose a turn by not bringing back the Mind's Weakness. And this is just really difficult fighting right now, so I think I'd rather have the Mind's Weakness up. I'd rather not have to waste a turn playing it. Alright, so which card are we getting rid of here? I think pretty much guaranteed hostile takeover. Does still CC the bear, and the bear is still around and threatening, but that's like the only enemy in the room that it's still effective against. And I don't think that's going to be our job, taking care of the bear. Alright, well, we've got 2 cards in the Diviner. We're just going to play them and see what we can do with them. I think they're reasonable enough. With move 3, we can still attack and curse something and stun one of these enemies. Our initiative is alright. Like, overall, it's not an exciting turn, but it's a fine turn. Alright, so Heaving Swing or Brutal Momentum, huh? Alongside Cataclysm, 1. A little bit annoying because we can't. Oops, I don't have the model anymore. We can't do a push 2 no matter what, but I guess we can still push this for at least 2 direct damage, which is not bad. Because 2 direct damage, not enough for Rockslide to kill. We need to get 1 from the actual attack. Could happen with advantage. Or we just get a wound on it. No obstacles to. Well, it's not actually true. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go to here using our boots. Yeah, because we don't have Earth. then we could actually push this into one of these rocks, which would do 1 direct damage from the wound plus 2 direct damage from breaking an obstacle. Not bad. The problem is it would require us going next to the bear. And if the bear ends up not moving and attacking, which is certainly a possibility, that would be really bad. So I'm supposed to play one of these. Brutal Momentum gets me 2 guaranteed direct damage on one of these. And not really anything else. Heaving Swing gets me no guaranteed direct damage, but does give me wound. And if the bear is moving, gives me 2 direct damage as well. So I think it does make sense to play Heaving Swing here. And I guess the Mindthief can theoretically Mana Potion for Earth. Mindthief will be going before us if we need to move more. So we can maybe even make that work. Alright, so we've got Ice. We definitely want to use Frigid Apparition. Man, I actually do really wish I had Perverse Edge here. We don't need to give ourselves advantage just yet, right? Yeah. We'll need to get advantage next turn, but that's fine. So we use this attack plus this attack. Gives us a stun on one of the presumably one of the drakes, and as well as just another attack 3. Alright, here goes. Oof, bear is doing scary stuff. Oh, man. Scary stuff all around. Oh no, we can't create ice. Oh, this is not good. This, not. We would have to. So either we don't create ice, or we have to prevent both of the living spirits from attacking. So the diviner can always stun this living spirit, so that's not difficult. And I guess that would mean the Mindthief would have to come down and stun this one now, because no one else is stunning it. Because we can't let it get a stunning attack off, consuming our ice, and I'd like to create ice. Because it just gives me 2 more damage, plus it allows me to actually use this bottom rather than having default, which is so much worse. Alright. So that means we have to go stun the other living spirit. We're going to move 3, attack 3 with the bottom Dark Frenzy. We gain 1 experience and we create ice. 1, 2. Where's the Cragheart actually going to? The Cragheart wants to go to here. This is also really annoying because if the Cragheart has to go push this one, then we're going to be next to each other. Maybe the Cragheart will just this one now that it ends up sucking. But I don't think we can do better than that. Because we don't want to clump up because of their stupid AoEs from the Spinning Drakes. Could stun 2 of the Spinning Drakes instead of this. But how do we prevent this from stunning us? We just can't. Right? I don't think there's any way. There's 2 of them. I mean, yes, we could just let one of them stun the diviner, who can then just long rest. But it does also consume our ice, which is a real cost. It's basically like losing 2 damage. Oh, we got the diviner summon. But it still does use our ice. But maybe that's fine then. Because stunning 2 of these drakes is so good using our battle axe here. I think we have I think we're actually really supposed to do that. So what if we just don't use Dark Frenzy then? What if we just Endurance Potion in here and don't get the ice the following turn? That maybe solves our problem. Then we just Endurance Potion again afterwards to actually gain our turn. Alright, I'm down with that. So we're not going to create ice. We're not going to gain the 1 experience. There's 1 experience here. I'm going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy as a default move too, because the Frigid Apparition Battle Axe is just too good here. So I'm going to use Dark Frenzy as a default move too, just going to here, next to the 2 drakes. I'm going to use an Endurance Potion to recover Dark Frenzy. Then I'm going to use the top of Frigid Apparition. I'm going to consume ice, gaining 1 experience. I'm going to use the Battle Axe. So this is an attack 4 stun, plus Mind's Weakness, so an attack 6 stun, hitting both of these. I'll do 2 and then 4. Here the isn't so important. So 2. Oh no, actually, because I'm not actually sure that I'd rather kill the regular before the elite. The elite actually hits for 2 more damage. So hold on. So it's a 1 to 3 ratio, whereas 5 to 6 is slightly over 1 to 3. Yeah, so actually the elite does more damage per health. Because this is like 1.33, 1 over 3, I mean, 3 repeated 3. Whereas this is actually 1 damage to 3 health. This is 1 damage to 3 health, and then like 1 carried over. So it actually does make more sense to do more damage to the elite. Alright. Oftentimes it's better to kill regulars first, but here we would actually be eliminating more damage. At the same time, there's always the issue of us being able to stun this one more easily. We lost the Mindthief's bottom stun, and the Diviner's disarm rifts are not good against ranged enemies. Yeah, I think I'd rather just try to focus this one down, the elite. It's so much more damage. It attacks for 7 rather than 5. We have like multiple shield abilities on the Diviner as well, so. Alright, so our attack on the elite ends up doing from 6 plus 3 is 9. Respectable amount of damage. And stun. And then number 4, we get a +1 there, so just 7 damage. Just 7 damage. No biggie. And stun. Mindthief in him. Alright. So we're done there. Then the Cragheart goes. So we don't have to worry about them stunning anymore because they don't have ice. We do have to worry about this doing some nasty stuff. Really nasty stuff. We can always stun that one. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so we're going to use Cataclysm bottom as a move 3, plus our Boots of Striding to get a total of move 5 here. Yeah, if we're here, we're not in the clumping yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. I'm going to use my healing potion now. No, the bears actually can wound. Yeah, we're not going to get poisoned here, and the bear can wound us, so it's actually better to use the healing potion afterwards. Alright, so then I'm going to use the Heaving Swing attack on top. I'm going to attack Living Spirit number 1. I am going to use the push. So it's an attack 3 with advantage, push 2. Okay, wow. Whew. Man, those 2 rolling modifiers are, push modifiers are just stuck together. This is amazing, actually. Alright, so to begin with, we have a 3 plus 2. So we get 5. I'm pretty sure we're killing this thing, actually, thanks to those modifiers. God, they've been amazing to us. So we do 1 direct damage, and it's going to be wounded. But yeah, we're going to kill it. So we have 6 total push again. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just hilarious, right? All right. So where do we actually want to kill it? We can pretty much kill it wherever we want. We have to put it through 2 obstacles to kill it. Because these obstacles 2 direct damage. We can push flying enemies into obstacles with this and destroy the obstacles. I mean, is it not too awesome just to literally fling it all the way across the room into this altar? I think strategically, I'm not sure this is the correct decision, but thematically, I wouldn't be doing the Cragheart justice if I didn't do it like this, right? All right, so let's do that. So push 6. 1, 2, 3 breaks this obstacle, 2 damage here. 4, 5, 6 breaks this obstacle, 2 damage here. These 2 are gone. We drop the coin and we gain 2 experience. Beautiful. All right, Diviner's up next. We're gonna move 3 with the bottom Seal Their Fate. 1, 2, 3 to here. We're gonna do an attack 2 curse, targeting the bear. Definitely makes sense to target the bear because these things have shield. That's why we came up here. Yeah, they really are doing work for us, without a doubt. Definitely quite happy with them. I mean, I think that they actually become, like... Obviously, here we're getting really lucky, so... But... Yeah, sorry, push. Definitely not pull. Good pull. Well, we're pulling them, you know, it's like in card terms. But anyway, I think once you get level 7, you have Brutal Momentum and Heaving Swing. I think they actually do become quite good modifiers. Like, before we never really prioritized them highly, because... we were never taking Brutal Momentum before the FAQ change, but I think with the FAQ change and Brutal Momentum being good now, I think those modifiers are quite good. Like, obviously not this good. Here they're being ridiculous, but... Alright, anyway. So we make our attack on the bear. Okay, that's pretty unexciting. We get 3 damage, down to 17. Oh, we shuffle Curse in. I'm not going to use Curse here, actually. If I put a Curse into their deck, I miss out on -2. I know that this stuff is coming, so it's actually not correct to Curse here. Yep. So I will indeed not Curse here. Feels a little bit bad. Then I'm going to use the top of Dimensional Transfer, gaining 1 experience, creating Dark. I'm going to Invis Stun. There. Definitely happy I brought that card. So a lot of firsts here in this scenario. We chose not to use a stun, and now we're choosing not to use a curse. Not things you see very often. Alright, so Living Spirit number 2, attacking at +1. It's going to move away from the Cragheart to lose disadvantage. Attack the Cragheart. -2. So normally a 6 here because the +1, -2, so 4 damage. Cool. And there's no other Living Spirits. Yeah. Cave Bear goes. We're going to get the miss on the smaller attack. That's a little bit annoying, but oh well. The ordering didn't work out perfectly. Cave Bear just loses the stun and invis. Right there. And then the Spitting Drakes go. So these two are stunned. This one can only hit Mindthief, can't hit anyone else. So it attacks it. The amount it attacks for doesn't matter because, as it turns out, we get a... I'm just putting these two down here. There are no more attacks. We get a miss. So the Mindthief just gets poisoned. Kind of evilly annoyingly old. That's the end of the round. Alright. So the Mindthief needs to gain advantage to get past this miss here. You know that. Cragheart short rest. I guess it's Diviner short rest as well. Ugh. Got a lot of items to get back. Guess they're not that important. I mean, it's so important for us to go. Also, Ethereal Vortex is looking spicy again. So, yep, short rest. Alright, that's fine. Lose, don't care at all. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's fine to lose that. It's a really good initiative for us, but get some couple other good initiatives, and I'd much rather not lose Rock Slide. I guess that's kind of the only one. And Rock Slide's not even that amazing anymore now that most Living Spirits are dead, but still. Alright, so I regret having... Oh no, I've got one here still for this, yeah. So it's time to use Ethereal Vortex. And I'm going to just use Protective Aura to go as quickly as possible here. I think going quickly is important, and I've got an Endurance Potion charge again. It sucks that we don't have our goggles here, but it is what it is. Alright. So Mindthief does not have ice. We need to do this anyway. How do we get dark? Oh yeah, we created dark last turn, so we can actually use Shared Nightmare here. That's not bad. Also getting more curses and some poison. These drakes. Alright, how about the Cragheart? We could come up and Cataclysm the drakes. I think that's probably worth doing, to be honest. So we go with this and this. We can create Earth with our mana potion on the Mindthief. This just shows you how valuable it is to have 3 mana potions in your party. Mana potions are amazing. They're so good. Alright, here we go. Whew, some scary stuff happening this turn. So, Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the bottom of Empathetic Assault. We do a move 2. To coin or not to coin, let's be real. Oh no! We're muddled! Oh, brutal. We're going to miss one of our attacks. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's really rough. Alright. Ah, that muddle is actually really bad then. There's nothing we can do about that though. Alright, so we move there. We heal off the poison. And we strengthen ourselves. Stupid, normally meaningless muddles actually mattering quite a lot here. And then we use the top of Shared Nightmare. Gain 1 experience, create ice, consume dark. This gives us an attack 3, range 4, target 2, poison curse. Alright, so we're going to be hitting the 2 drakes because they don't have poison yet. So we want to try to kill one of them this turn with the Cragheart. We want to deal damage to this one with our attack, not this one, because this one we're less... So the Cragheart's going to make an attack for 6 here on all of them with advantage. So 6 is like 7. So let's see, if we do 3 here, putting this down to 9, poison is effectively 8. No, the Cragheart would... No, actually we would just need to get a +1 and we can kill the elite, right? So if the Cragheart gets a +1 and we get a +1, so again, our attack is 3, +1 from poison, +1 from modifier would be 5. Which is now 7. Cragheart attacks for 6, +1 from modifier, 7. Yeah, that works. We would need 2 +1s, both of us attacking with advantage. The Cragheart does have 2 curses in its deck, though. The one downside here, but if he gets a curse, it doesn't really change anything who we target. So yeah, let's actually try to get the damage on the elite. Killing the elite is so much better. So this means we're going to attack the regular first, where we flip a miss. I'll give the curses at the end. Did I forget to give 2 curses earlier because I said that? Do those now. Yeah, no, I'm not sure I did. Anyway, the elite. Okay, well, that's a lot of stuff. Got ice anyway, so we got +3. Our attack was 3, so this is actually down to 6 in the end. Beautiful, poisoned, and stunned just in case. Okay. And one more curse. So we do finally lose that bubble. Keep strengthened for next round. Okay, so next up is the Diviner. So we're going to use... We should have line of sight. Yeah, we're going to use the top of Ethereal Vortex. Again, we move all our rifts to... Yes? I guess it's just more curses, so why not? I'm going to move this rift because we never know. I'm going to move this rift under you. I can't reach the one in the back. Yeah. I'm not going to move these rifts because they're under enemies. Alright, so we once again get to hit all 4 targets. By Canary, I'm not going to waste your magical powers here because the ordering here doesn't really, like, it only really counts when, I mean, I only really care when it matters. It's highly unlikely we kill this, impossible for us to kill this, impossible for us to kill this. And killing this doesn't actually really, like, it's not helpful. It's actually kind of worse, but... So ultimately, it just doesn't matter so much how we flip here. Alright, so I'm just going to do Spirit 2, Bear 3, Drake 2, Drake 4 in that order. So these are all Attack 2, Pierce 2 curses with nothing else added. Spirit first, +2 in light. So an Attack 4, Pierce 2 is effective 6 against something with 4 shield. So we do 2 damage, not bad, and it's 1 curse. Okay, then the bear. Ooh, okay. Good place to get the crit because it's poison. It's actually the best. Well, I guess this. Alright, so 3 crit is 6, down to 11. And another curse. And then Drake 2 and Drake 4. Nice flips thus far. Okay, seeing a +1 there is fine. So our attack was for 3 from poison, +1 from modifier, so 4 down to 2. Curse. And then Drake number 4. Yep, so just 4 damage again because of the poison. And the last curse. Beautiful. Yeah, Ethereal Vortex. So this is the second, maybe third scenario I've played with it. Previously it was fine, not exciting, but here it's been really good. We did a little bit more effort to set it up, but it's really paid off. I mean, it's more also just because of the nature of the scenario. Like, all the fighting has been in this area, right? We haven't had to move much, which makes this so much better. Obviously in scenarios where we have to move a lot, it becomes harder to keep many rifts in the same area. So this is like high upside, but still. Alright, so we've got the bottom Protective Aura as a default move 2. It's fine for us to tank an attack. We've even got a healing potion. So I do want this Living Spirit, I think, to attack us rather than Cragheart. I'm just gonna move one. I guess I can move 2. No, but here gives me good line of sight to everything. I'll just move to there with the bottom of a Protective Aura as a default move 2. And I'll use an Endurance Potion charge to bring that back. I think I want to bring the Summon. Problem is, bringing the Summon in here is just going to fight the Living Spirit, which is pretty useful. Oh, they are attacking all, you're right. Well, I mean, it doesn't really change anything. Yeah, I forgot that it's attacking all. I can't really go further. Anyway. Ah, no, so this actually does matter where I move, because I want to try to make it not attack the Mindthief. This is important. I guess I can just go there. So moving here. Yeah, I mean, I can still have the Mindthief, but whatever. I guess it going further away. Not sure if that is actually better for us. No, it's probably not. I think I'd probably rather have it just go to here. Easier to hit. Yeah, so I'll just stay there. Okay, Cragheart is up next. We're going to gain 1 experience. We're going to move 2. Going to here. Strengthening ourselves. We also have 1 retaliate. Oops! I did declare that I was doing this, so I meant to use the minor potion to create Earth. In fact, if anything, now it's more debatable whether I should actually do that, but I said I was going to do it, so I'm still going to do it, because actually we kill this one without the Earth, and we should kill this one without the Earth as well, so it's actually kind of maybe even better not to use the potion, but again, I said I was going to do it, so I'm still going to do it. Okay, so then we use the top of Cataclysm, consuming Earth. We gain 2 experience. This gives us an attack 6 immobilized, targeting all enemies in the area. So we'll do 2, 3, 4, I guess. All right. So here goes. So the elite's dead. Crit there. So again, our attack was base 6, so a crit is actually 12. That's beautiful. Peace. Oh, Cataclysm. What a great card. See, losses in Gloomhaven do need to be rebalanced, without a doubt. But that's not to say that there aren't reasonable losses in Gloomhaven. Cataclysm, we're playing on difficulty 7 here, and yet we've still used this top in more scenarios than we haven't. It's a well-designed card, right? Nice bottom action, nice initiative, which the Cragheart appreciates, so it's very spammable, and has a great loss that you, like, again, that you even want to use on max difficulty Gloomhaven, which is like, that's great. Most losses, unfortunately, not like this. Cataclysm's a great card. All right, so then we've got number 4. Okay, whew. Made me sweat for a second there. Do I have rolling modifiers in my deck? I guess just the... No, I guess I could still get the other curse. I could get a miss, like a natural miss. And yeah, I don't think I have any rollings because I've already drawn the 2 rolling pushes. Okay, so we killed you. We killed you. A bunch of damage. Oh, what a glorious turn. Okay, and this is lost. So then the Living Spirit goes, so it's just going to move to... Interesting. So here it actually can't hit the Cragheart. Here it does have a line of sight to everything. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it's going to be Diviner, Mindthief, Cragheart in that order. Their attack's at -1, so attack 4. So Diviner first, 3 damage. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, I don't mind taking a bit on the Diviner. I'd rather see the misses on the others. Oh, and I kind of missed there. So that's 5 damage to the Mindthief. Don't love that. And then on the Cragheart, we're hoping to see a bit more of. Fitting Drake goes. Is going to attack the Cragheart as well. Makes an attack 5 muddle on the Cragheart. Alright. Muddled. And then the bear goes. So attacks no one, then -1. So it's just going to be... What were the initiative orders? Ah, it's actually the Diviner. That's fine, we've got our healing potion, because it's 1 to there or 1 to there, but the Diviner actually had lower initiative, so it is going to go attack the Diviner, which is actually kind of ideal, I think. So normally attacks for 7, here's 6. -1, I guess, unless it crit. We don't have a helmet. So again, a 6 -1 is 5. Again, to 4, and we're wounded. We need to be careful now. Alright, and that's the end of the round. I'm out of water again. I apologize, but it is warm, so I drink a lot. I'll be right back. I'm just going to refill my water. Okay, back. Sorry about that. So, what do we have going on now? Got a couple enemies that we need to deal with still. Shouldn't be too difficult. Bunch of coins there too. Is that loot action? We have one less for. Oh yeah, because we endurance potion, so we know we have one more card. That works. So if we do... Yeah, this works. We can do this move to make an attack on the bear with a move 3 attack 3, and then we can use a top default, which we can then endurance potion back, hitting the Drake, which should kill it as well. This way we get a bit of damage on the bear and we kill the Drake. Hate the Drake. We want to make it to the chest before the scenario. This is pretty important. Have to get chests. I don't even know what's in this one, being perfectly honest. But... So this spirit has 3 health. Annoying because Rockslide doesn't quite kill it. I don't have another source of direct damage. Alright. What are other options here? They're doing. I guess doing our double rift, the two rift with disarm is probably fine here. Hoping 20 fast enough. And the Cragheart can go after that. So easily. I guess if we push the bear away, it'll run into a rift. So that also works. Yeah, so the Cragheart can go before that, push the bear somewhere. And so what we're going to do is we're going to, because pushing the bear is good with Healing Swing, because Healing Swing is basically as good of an attack as we get. It's an attack 3 wound, which this is wounded, so why not? And then we can use the bottom pull to pull the spirit into a rift, disarming it, and then the bear will run into a rift and get disarmed. So this works pretty well. Being able to push things away and then have them run back into rifts is a nice natural combo. Okay, so Spitting Drakes are trying to do something very scary, so we need to kill them. Bear is also being a bit annoying here. So he's going to gain 1 shield to retaliate and heal 2. The heal's just going to poison. Oh yeah, that is annoying because now he's not going to disarm him. Oh, alright. Anyway, the Mindthief's up, so we're going to use the bottom of Dark Frenzy as a move 3, attack 3, range 3, 1, 2, 3 to here. This coin. Gain 1 experience. We create a new ice, so there's still the old ice to use. And we do an attack 3, range 3, targeting the bear, which now has 1 shield. Our attack's advantage. Okay, so 3 becomes 6, 1 shield, so it's 5 damage down to 6. Alright, this is really important that we don't miss here. Now we attack with the top of Cranium Overload, which is a default attack 4. We consume the old ice using the Frigid Blades. This becomes a default attack 6. Going to Endurance Potion because we're using default action to get it back. So, default attack 6 with advantage, targeting break number 3. Alright, we got it. We got it. Down. Okay, so then the Cragheart goes. On the Cragheart, we're going to use the bottom Kinetic Assault. Alt move to here. This coin. I think can still theoretically wound us. Whatever. But I guess at the same time, if it attacks us, we can also just lose cards. So I think I will just Healing Potion now. I can always use a heal action after to remove the wound at this point. Because it attacks for, like, both these things. Well, no, not this one. This can attack us for 7, so, like, with the +2, we could also just end up losing cards. I don't think, or even a +1, because, yeah, +1 would do 8 damage, which would put us to 1, and then the wound, like, before we could heal it, would end up losing cards. So I think it's better, actually, at that range, to just use the Healing Potion preemptively, rather than wait for the wound. Okay, so then we're going to use the top of Healing Swing. We will be using the push, because this way we don't get retaliated. So we're attacking bear number 3. Yeah, what else to it? Okay. So our 3 gets +1. Oh no! We're muddled and strengthened. So we miss. Ouch. We're going to push it to, I suppose, to there. Putting it into a rift doesn't change anything. So in the end, we just get a wound on it. And those muddles have been brutal this scenario. Alright. So now what? Now it's the Diviner's turn. So unfortunately, we can't get the bear disarmed for next round. But I suppose we'll just have to live with that. Try to make something else work. We can maybe use the immobilized rift on it next round. But new rigs are very annoying. Cut it out. I still think it's better to actually just get the disarm on the living. It's actually attacking this round and attacking a bunch of things. Oh, so first we take 1 damage from our wound. 3, then we use our healing potion. Up to 6. So I'm going to use the bottom, well, the top avoid snare and the bottom of red as found. Get rid of some of these here. We have a maximum of 5 rifts. So here, creating a beautiful little rift wall. And I'll pull this living spirit, I guess, into this rift, actually, to put it closer to Cragheart. Go. Rift, it gets disarmed. Okay, living spirit goes. Oops. Mindthief. Uh-oh. Whoops. Okay, so there was a trap under that rift. We just now realized. So we wouldn't have been able to go there. I guess in that case we would have had to use our boot. Go here, but then we wouldn't have hit the Drake. I guess at this point the easiest way to solve this is actually really, really bad for me. If I'd known there was a trap there, I probably would have planned a different turn, but man, battlefields get messy with rifts. Alright, well I guess we're just losing a card from our hand in the end. I guess in that case I would not have Endurance Potion this back. At least I can fix that. We would lose Corrupting Embrace to negate the damage. We would have gotten muddled. We would not have had advantage on our attack. I don't think that would change too much though. Yeah, because we still would have gotten the crit. We wouldn't have flipped this, but it doesn't matter. Our deck's getting reshuffled anyway. Alright. So we negated the damage from the trap. We would actually still be muddled for the coming turn. Ah, but our attack on the bear would have been different. Okay. No, because the bear was on... No. Yeah, the bear was on the door. Yeah, the range and dark runs, exactly. So actually this would change things just very slightly. So we would have been disadvantaged on both attacks, actually, because we would have had to walk into the trap first before making the ranged attack on the bear. This means we would have gotten 1 less damage on the bear, because we actually had flipped like this plus this, and this plus this. So the bear should actually have 1 more health now. Like I said, if I'd known this was there, I would have done a completely different turn, but whatever. It's easy. At this point, I think I'm still safe to win the scenario, so I'm just going to revert the easiest way possible to fix the damage done. So then I would have flipped this plus this. I would have just not gotten the rolling, but I still would have gotten a crit on the Drake, so it would have killed it. This I'm just going to leave here because it's just reshuffled. So we would still have the same outcome. We just lost the card from our hand, and we are going to be muddled for the next round as well. Yeah, pretty dumb to have done this, like walking into a trap when you have so few cards left. But, well, sometimes you just don't see the traps. Rifts work both ways, apparently. Okay. That's the end of the round. So what are we looking at here? This thing has... this thing is disarmed. I need some help. So, actually, the Cragheart can just execute that. Unfortunately, our initiative's stuck. The Cragheart's just going to do the regardless. And move, push this into the wall twice. Unfortunately, like I said, our initiative is not great for it, but... As for us, the Disarm Rift or the Stun... the Immobilized Rift or the Stun both do something. Can't do both of them. Do we have something on bottom that does something? Not really. But I suppose we can just play both of these and hope that we go before them and then react to whichever enemy is more threatening and use the appropriate card. Let's give us a crappy turn the following turn, though. We're splitting up the two things which are useful. Yeah. No, but we should kill one. I think this is fine, actually. This just gives us more flexibility for this turn, which is the more important turn.
I mean, I guess at this point the Mindthief just has to go get the chest, right? And we actually do have our boots, so we can actually make it to the chest in one turn. I can actually just short rest. I will bring back the Mind's Weakness here. I don't really need to contribute anymore to the scenario. But the sooner I go get the chest, the sooner we can kill all the enemies. Okay, so I need to do a giant move. Not in range to make any. Only if the Cragheart goes before me, then I could have Dark. Actually get the bonus from this. Get poison on the spirit. It shouldn't matter on the spirit, although the initiative actually matters. Actually, let's not be dumb. I should actually short rest early on the Cragheart here. This is kind of insane, right? We have 3 cards in our discard, 4 cards in our hand, but getting a good initiative against the living spirit matters so much here. So actually I'm going to short rest early. Alright, losing, that's fine. I mean, we're still not going to go before the Mindthief, but we're just being dumb here. So we're going to just use our best possible initiative to try to go before the living spirit. Because again, Brutal Momentum here gets us a guaranteed kill on this living spirit. If we go here, we push this direction into this wall here. It's 4 direct damage on the spirit. So this is an execute, assuming that we go before the spirit and it doesn't move away. So it's just so important that we do that. Longevity matters a little bit less since there's really just the 2 enemies left. Alright, so in that case, if we're planning around that, then the Immobilized Rift is never really doing anything. It's just the Invis stun. So in that case, we should just go over this. Okay. And so the Mindthief just needs to move a bunch. I guess activate the Mind's Weakness. Give this an experience, so why not? What if we go here first? What if we take... Both of these shouldn't die this turn. This is a 2 coin spot. So good. Yeah, so what if we don't play the giant move here? I mean, I guess we can. We just endurance potion it back no matter what. Alright, let's go. Whew. Glad we win at the 13 in the end. And this goes after the Cragheart. Perfect. Okay, so Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the top of Mind's Weakness, activating it. We're going to use the bottom of Cranium Overload as simply default move to here. Even without our boots, we're good then. Okay, great. Grab these 2 coins. I mean, the Mindthief getting money doesn't matter that much since we have nothing to spend it on, but not. And then since we use the bottom of Cranium Overload as a default move too, we're going to use an Endurance Potion to bring it back. Okay, so then the Diviner goes. The Diviner is going to use the top of Dimensional Transfer, gaining 1 experience, creating Dark, being invisible stun, target or affecting the enemy at range 3. Going to Invis and stun you. Yes, we're going to start moving towards some coins. So then we're going to use the bottom of Protective 4 as a default move too. We're just going to go like that. Okay, Cave Bear goes, loses stun, loses invis, takes 1 from its move. Cragheart goes, we're going to use the bottom of Kinetic Assault as a default move too. 1, 2, doesn't really change much. Here I guess it's easier to go get more coins. And then we're going to use the top of Brutal Momentum, attack 3, push 2. We're going to target the living spirit. We're going to push this direction. We will be using the push. We have to flip first. That's good because this way we get maximum. So twice we can't push it, so it takes 2 direct damage twice, and each time we gain an experience. And that's 4 direct damage total, which kills this living spirit. We are the shielded enemy killer. Alright, living spirit's eliminated. For that round. Yeah, I mean, we're going to go get it as well. Cragheart can take care of the bear by him. Can't you, Cragheart? Don't have Earth. But with a deck stack, we can probably get a kill. And miss out experience. I guess we don't actually want to kill it this turn, though. 1 more turn is a bit more coins. It's not like it's going to kill us. Pick cards to lose. So what if we just... So we want to be able to go early next round. What if we do this and this? Ooh, this is actually not bad either. Because if it moves up onto this coin, then we get a double coin stack when we kill it the following turn. Okay. This works. And Mindthief just giant move. Other card matters not. Want to make sure another giant move. We did fail our battle goal, but it definitely dropped below half. Plus, we didn't kill another enemy, I think. So we're good. Let's go. Bear's not moving. A little bit annoying. Guess we're not healing ours. So no, it actually works because it goes before us, so we can actually move up without getting hit. Anyway, the Mindthief's up first. We're going to use the bottom of Cranium Overload as a move 5. Or this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. Get the chest. See what's in it. Fair warning, we're going to be spoiling. Chest number 10. Chest number 10. Here we go. Really? Wow. I went all the way across here for 10 experience? Are you kidding me? That is one of the worst rewards. Like, these chests should have been a little bit better thought out, right? You have scaling systems in place. Why do the experience rewards not scale based on character level? Like, this is so easy. I guess it's mathy, but still. I think making it mathy is better than... I don't think people will mind... Like, having to do math every round of the scenario can be a bit annoying, but looking at a reward that you're looking at one time in a campaign and having to do math, I think is fine. Because honestly... I mean, I don't really care about experience to begin with, but being level 8 and getting a reward of 10 experience is... After having to, like... This isn't an easy chest to get to normally, right? Because typically, when you enter this room, most parties don't just rush into the room. You kind of like draw the enemies back and fight around here. So someone has to make it all the way to the back of the room, which is a real cost. You do all that in a party with someone with level 877, and you get 10 experience for it when you're sitting at 470 experience. What? Ugh. All right. Take the 10. Okay. So next up is the Diviner. We'll use the top of Envision, gaining 1 experience, consuming the dark, stacking 2 decks. We'll stack the Cragheart deck for sure. We don't have momentum anymore, so the pushes, it's kind of eh. What are we going to want? I mean, I guess we can take the pushes. You never know. No. Well, I guess the other optional, so there's really no reason not to take them. Go like this. Okay, and then we use the bottom teleport 4. Here. Point. They do refuse to be separated, you're right. It's like they're stuck together. Alright, Cave Bear goes. 1 from its wound. Down 5. So then we go here with the Cragheart, we gain 1 experience, create Earth, we're going to drop a bunch of rocks. 1 here, here, and 1 here, why not? Create a nice little rock wall. 2 direct damage, down to 3. We're going to use the bottom of Earth and Cloud as a default move. We're going to pick up this one. Okay. We're done. It's the end of the round. So we can run and grab another coin. There's no issue. All right, let's calculate the experience. No, I don't care about getting to level 9, to be honest. So, all right, here we're gonna short rest for sure because we can get a coin and maybe some experience. This gives us an experience while doing move. Move 3 does not get us to a coin. So, nope. Cragheart these 2 cards. So we can only get experience by not moving on bottom. I mean, the interesting thing is, I mean, how much does a little bit of experience matter? That's the question. I'm also not sure how much gold matters for enhancements. I mean, it does because I want them, but right now we have 6 experience. And for successful completion of this scenario, we're going to gain 16, so 22 experience right now. That actually does level us up already. So I don't think I care about gaining maximum experience. I mean, I will take what I can get. This gives me 2, why not? This anyway. But beyond that, I think I will move to get a coin. Alright, here goes. So we're up first on the Mindthief. We're going to do 5 with Shared Nightmare. 4, 5, clink. Why not? Okay, then the Diviner goes. We're going to use the top of Vital Fount, experience, losing this. We're going to do a teleport 4 on bottom. Cragheart goes. We're going to 1 experience in the Cragheart either. Anything. Because getting to level 9 with the Cragheart is just going to break the game. Ugh. I mean, whatever. I should take my gain experience. Plus, it lets me do a giant attack. Alright, I'm going to use the top of Blunt Force, consuming the earth, gaining 3 experience. This gives us an attack 8. Some pushing, 9 in the end. Bear's down. Bear was the last thing for us to kill. Huh? I'm going to use the bottom massive boulder here and grab this one. Whew. Well, it was tough for a bit there, but yeah, we managed to make it through with a reasonable margin. Alright, so what do we get for successful completion of this scenario? We unlock. We get to choose one of the following to unlock: 15, 17, or 20. Do we not have all of those? Do not have all of those. So, 15. We don't have 15 unlocked either, but screw 15. I hate that scenario. I hate it, but we've also done it pretty recently. 20 we actually do have unlocked here. And 17 is awesome. So, yeah. I mean, not so awesome at this point for this party, but we're going to choose to unlock scenario 17 as our reward. There we go. Now we get to check off successful completion of scenario 13. Where were you? Not temple. Okay. Money, money, money indeed. Like I said, money doesn't matter for us that much at this point, but still. But still. Alright. Let's take a look at our post scenario. So over here, like I said, we did get our check mark. Mindthief also gained her check mark. Cragheart did not gain. So here, here. In the end, it's 22 experience for us. No, we gained 2 more, right? 16, 24 experience for us. Okay, which gets the level. We're going to get 2 perks total. And we also gain 10 gold. Why not? Okay, here we gain 20 gold. $24. So 40 experience with player. Jeez. Insane experience. That's the highest I've ever seen a Cragheart get. I mean, we did make a non-loss attack, which gave us 8 experience. So, oh, no, 4. No. 6 experience, right? How much it was? Yeah, because we did push 6. Yeah. Yeah, we had a non-loss attack, which gave us 6 experience. Not shabby. Just keep shuffling those 2 cards together, huh? Oh wait, we've got to remove, yeah, some pieces. There. There. Hello, Cauldron. Alright, so here we gain 35 gold. And as far as experience, 21. Another 16, so we do make it to level 9. Alright. Alright. I mean, No, I was actually playing at the wrong health. Huh. Interesting. Oh, that's actually significant too. I would have not had to lose a card that one time. Exactly, but maybe it worked out alright anyway. Alright. So, all this. Get home from work, going from never really having a job to a 40-hour-a-week internship is pretty exhausting. Yeah, I can imagine. Alright, so let's do... I mean, I guess the only thing we have to do now, we have to do Mindthief level up and then Diviner level up plus perk. Let's do Mindthief level up first. So, Mindthief, should we take any of these perks? Probably the Disarm Muddle. Disarm is still good to draw. You make a reasonable amount of attacks that don't have natural C. Muddle really sucks to have in there. We're definitely never taking the immobilized muddle. We're never taking the rolling immobilized muddle or pulls. Especially with the Diviner stacking our deck, adding more cards that aren't like +2s also is worse. It's actually tough. Normally I would say you take the Disarm Muddle. With the Diviner, I'm not even sure you do, but let's try and see if we regret it. And Disarm does have pretty high upside. If I could take the Disarm without the Muddle, I would. To be clear. Alright, so level 9 card choice, huh? Level 9 card choice. Good thing Themris isn't here today. Alright. On the left we have Phantasmal Killer. So this is an augment which allows us to consume dark to kill one normal target instead, and we make an attack 2, we gain 1 experience. I mean, our attacks, instead of being attack 2, this would be a kill if we have dark, and on bottom we have a move 2, loot 1, invisible self, creating dark. On the other hand, we have His Highness, the Rat King, which is pretty undertuned, but also the most incredible card in the game, so it depends how you look at it. This is a 9 health move to attack X, where X is going to be half the its current hit point value rounded up, so it begins by attacking for 5. And pretty quickly loses that. Biggest issue is that it's only 2 movement. I don't know why. Anyway, I guess it's because Rat Kings are, I mean, kind of an unruly mess. And then on bottom, all allies within is a round loss. All allies within range 2 at attack add plus X attack. All their attacks this round, where X is the number of your allies within range 2 of you. This is like for the entire summon party to do like one sort of crazy round where you just... Anyway. So I'm going to take Phantasmal Killer, because this is actually the better card, and I am trying to play this party properly. Better card by a significant margin. That being said, I'm not, like... So with the Diviner in this party, I could completely change how we're going to play, right? Yeah, it doesn't affect itself. It's a little bit unfortunate. Anyway, so... Probably the correct way to play now that I have this card at level 9 is just to have the Diviner take every single card of hers that creates dark and just try to have her create dark every round, allow me to execute a regular enemy every round. Because executing regular enemies every round is that powerful. Even at level 9 and requiring 2 characters essentially to do it, it's still just that good, which shows how stupid other classes being able to do this earlier is. I'm not going to do that though. I'm going to take Phantasmal Killer, but I'm going to use it primarily for the bottom, and honestly the bottom is also fine. I mean, it's actually quite good. For level 9 cards, a little underwhelming, but it's honestly fine. Obviously, the draw of Phantasmal Killer as level 9 card is the top, but the problem is, if I played this the way that like would be optimal to play it, it would change completely the way the party functions, and I wouldn't really be playing with a real Diviner. You know, I would just be playing with like a Dark Element support Diviner, which is, I mean, certainly can be something, and if you want to do that in your party, why not? But it wouldn't help me learn more about the Diviner, which is pretty important, and it's also just less fun, I think. So I will take Phantasmal Killer, but I will not be using the top because non-loss executes are bad for business, and something that can give you a non-loss execute every round is really bad for business. Okay. Okay, so we actually know we get a level up on the Cragheart as well. Oops. All right, let's do it. Also, so shall we take the... Yeah, I think we will take this. At this point, like I said, with the Diviner and the fact that we can make a lot of our attacks from advantage anyway because we have the Strengthen, I think it is now worth it. We have the deck stacking, getting +2s is good for that, and again, we make a lot of attacks with advantage thanks to our enhanced blunt force. if you don't have Enhanced Blunt Force, I would never take this. With Enhanced Blunt Force, I think it's fine to take. And with Enhanced Blunt Force and the Diviner, I think it's actually probably good to take. I'll never take the rest. That is my line. Okay, over onto the Diviner. We actually get 2 perks here because we did get our 3rd check mark. That's nice. So we're going to get to... What? What? Forgot to take a card on the Cragheart. Good call. Did forget. Okay, so the Cragheart, we've got 3 choices here. Thank you, Goldrin. So excited to get to the Diviner. We've got Lumbering Bash, which is pretty mediocre for level 8 card. I mean, move 2, attack 5, element, experience. I mean, first of all, experience level 8, who cares, right? Move 2, attack 5, create an element is reasonably powerful for a top. But we don't really need Earth that much. There's certainly an item that would make this better. If we had that item, we could build around this a little bit more and make this top a lot better. But as is, it's not very compelling, the element. And then it's just like an attack 5 at level 8, which is not really where you want to be. The extra movement on top doesn't matter much for this class. Some classes, like getting to move on top, like for example the Mindthief, is actually really good. But the Cragheart doesn't have much on bottom that's not movement. So movement on top doesn't do much for the Cragheart's turns, which is why this is kind of just a weird card to have level 8. And the bottom loss on Lumbering Bash is honestly embarrassing. Legitimately horrendous. One of the worst high-level losses in the game, without a doubt. Just a complete embarrassment of a card. Or of an action. The top isn't embarrassing, it's just a bit undertuned. The bottom is actually sad. Alright. This. We got Rocky End, which is destroy all obstacles within range 2. Consume Earth to get +1 range on the obstacle destruction. Attack X, where X is twice the number of hexes the destroyed obstacles occupied. 37 initiative, move 6. The movement must end in a hex adjacent to an obstacle. So this card is like, so the Cragheart is great at spreading a lot of damage around to a lot of different targets. Isn't excellent at single target damage though. Rocky End solves this problem. Obviously only one instance of it, so this is really a boss killer for the Cragheart. You use Rock Slide, Stamina Potion, Rock Slide again, and then you use this and you already got like 6 obstacles, so 12 plus any other obstacles that have already been around there. You're looking at a pretty big loss attack, which is pretty great. That being said, there's 2 issues. Issue number 1, we don't use Stamina Potions. Without Stamina Potions, Rocky End is a lot worse. So we didn't take Meteor at 7, although Meteor at 7 on the top is difficult to use, so I mean that's like But anyway, so we don't have Meteor, and we don't have Stamina Potions, so we can't easily go Rock Slide, so we can't easily get to 6 obstacles. I mean we can, but it's gonna take a while. So this is the biggest problem. This card does get a lot worse without access to Stamina Potions, especially without access to Meteor and Stamina Potion. Secondly, we know that we're not going to do a boss scenario because we don't want to retire the Mindthief. We want to just play this party to level 9, play this party a little bit of level 9, and then that's kind of it, you know? Maybe then switch around a couple cards or something like that, but we'll see. So, since we're avoiding boss scenarios, and this is specifically a boss killer, not really what we're looking for. I mean, this is kind of metagaming a little bit, but regardless, I actually just don't think this top is very good without Stamina Potions on the Cragheart. And then the bottom is a move 6. Is good. I mean, we use Rock Slide enough that it's not too difficult to get this move 6 off, but we've already kind of got this with Cataclysm because we've got more Earth than we can use anyway, and Cataclysm gives us better movement. I mean, better initiative. So then we go over to Meteor, create 1, 3, well, we already kind of talked about Meteor at previously when we were at level 7. In the end, Meteor is actually what I'm going to take here. I miss having this move 4 jump on bottom. 23 initiative is still really good for this class. And neither of these cards really do much for us at this point, whereas Meteor does, actually. Meteor gives us another nice initiative move 4 jump, and we don't have any other jump, so I think I'm actually just happier to have this than either of these other cards. I think Rocky End can be a stronger card than Meteor, but again, relies heavily on Stamina Potions. I think without Stamina Potions, Meteor is actually better than either level 8 cards. Yeah, Meteor seems like easy choice to me unless you really need another top attack. No, we don't really need more top attacks. Since we have the level 4 one as well, I think we're really fine. Alright, so we take Meteor there, we take Phantasmal Killer there. Okay, so over to the Diviner. So now we've got to choose modifier, perk deck first. So we're definitely taking the replace a +0 with a +2 regenerate self. We don't take damage that often, but again, at the worst case, it's just we're replacing a +0 with a +2. It's pretty high upside, and we want to get these +0s out of our deck. You're out. And you're in. That's 1. That's a nice color. Good. So I'd rather get rid of the zeros first. Then I'm going to replace 2 +1s with 1 +3 shield. I was away. Staying away from Rocky End, I take it? Yes, we did. We didn't take Rocky End. We took Meteor. And so now we're going to do this. So the reason why I prefer, like, I think you can justify removing 2 +1s, 2 +1s instead of removing a 0, but obviously getting a +1. I'm not sure that getting rid of 2 +1s is actually better than getting rid of a +0. I'm pretty sure, so I wonder which actually increases the average damage in our deck more. Let's just see that to begin with, right? All right, let's grab calculator on the phone. It would almost be easier. All right, you want to do the math quickly, Cauldron? That's probably better. So first of all, I'm not even sure which one actually increases our average damage more. This does increase our odds of drawing other cards more. I mean, this one would increase our odds of drawing other cards, but it's just drawing a +1 is still okay. Drawing a +0 sucks. On top of that, I mean, +3 versus +2, the regenerate self, yeah, I don't know. Actually, it's a really tough call, I think, either way. I think I'm going to go with this, although I'll wait on Cauldron's math to maybe make a final decision. Anyway, so we get to get rid of 2 +1s. We get a +3 shield self. Shield self being super insignificant. And we're never, I mean, I guess our last thing we take will be the 2 rolling heal 1 selves. Those are just terrible. But we're not in a hurry to take this one, even though this does replace our last 0, just because it's just another +1 that it replaces with, and the shield won't affect any ally, while interesting with our really bad initiative, just is never going to be relevant. We would need better initiatives to make that good. Okay. So let's move on. And take a look at the level 8 card we're going to take. So, I haven't really looked at these much before. Deep Contemplation. Heal 3 self, invisible, bless, strengthen, turn any element into light or dark. So again, this would be another well, I guess we've got any element in light or dark on the bottom of the other card, so a bit weird, in all honesty. Yes, there's some sort of build for this class where this is supposed to be good. Don't really know. Like, we don't take much damage. We don't really care about invisible. Bless isn't even that good either, because like Bless is like a +2 in our deck. I mean, we actually don't have, let's reset our point of view. We have a single +3 here. In the wrong spot. I guess I'm just gonna fan these cards out. This is easier. And then 1, 2, 2. Yeah, so maybe there was another card we didn't take on level up. I actually don't even think so. I think our highest attack is going to be an attack 2. Except for the top of Duality Shards, which again, Duality Shards by level 8 is... So yeah. Bless is like a +2, which isn't even that good in our deck. It's fine, not excellent. And since we make attack 0s and attack 1s as well, Bless is really not very good for us. I mean, it's a lot of effects. Invisibility is also good. Unconditional invisibility is also quite powerful. So this certainly does have like the potential to do stuff. I guess in like a 2-player party, especially, being able to go invisible like this with someone else who can go invisible is actually pretty insane. So the power level is definitely high, but in our party, this doesn't do much. You don't need the self-healing, so yeah, the top is pretty big whiff. So the bottom is reveal the top 2 cards of any monster ability card deck, then place them back in any order. And if we consume any, or light or dark. So removing 2+1s gives us a higher average damage. Alright, let's do it then. Okay, thank you. So get this one, and we don't bring this. Yeah, we don't have advantage that much, to be honest. I mean, even though we have the goggles. But yeah, that's fair. That is fair. Thank you, Cauldron. Alright, anyway. So, this top is not good, for us at least. Reveal the top 2 cards of any monster ability card deck, then place them back in any order. If we consume either of the elements, reveal the top 2 cards of a second monster ability card deck, then place them back in any order. Yeah. So this is not good. So we've already had this sort of effect, which is the card that we got rid of and we're extremely underwhelmed with. Where are you? Yeah, Preordain the Path. So we had Preordain the Path already, and even when we played with this incorrectly and we were messing with monster decks that we hadn't seen yet, which we actually can't do, we found out, it was already mediocre at best. Now that we know that we can't mess with monster decks, I mean, or maybe it was average, I mean, whatever. But regardless, that's not how it works. So now that we know we can't mess with monster decks except for ones we're currently engaged in combat with, and there's so much that can go wrong with this, especially including the possibility of them just getting a shuffle, which just ruins our action for the turn. This is, like, as level 4 action that also let us put, I mean, this is 2 decks, I guess. So this is 2 cards of 1 deck, whereas this is just a card of 1 deck. So without an element, this is better than this. With an element, this is 1 deck, but we can actually put a card on bottom, whereas without an element, this is 2 decks, but we can't put any cards on bottom. This, like, provides more information. Anyway, my point is, this isn't even that much better than this. It's not even technically strictly better than this. And this is level 8 bottom, and this wasn't good for level 4 bottom, so this is really, really not appealing. Just because, yeah, this sort of effect, again, ends up not being very good, and at least against regular Gloomhaven monsters in regular Gloomhaven play. Alright, so powerful but not very appealing top with a bottom. Thought it was underwhelming even if you could put it on the bottom. Yeah, well, Cauldron, we thought it was underwhelming even when we could put it on the bottom. And not only that, we were playing it where incorrectly, like I said. We believed, I thought at the time that you could do this to monsters that weren't currently active in the scenario, but you actually can't. So you can't even, like, pre-prepare for difficult monsters. You can't, and also, like I said, if you're facing difficult monsters, but they flip a shuffle on the turn you play this, you, like, it's not going to do anything, and especially because there's, like, a limited number of monsters you're facing at a time, and often you're not going to have, like, multiple monsters that are also valuable to do this against. So I don't know, man. Where, like, if the one that you wanted to do it on flips a shuffle, you just do it on the other, and, like, the other one's like an Earth Demon, you're like, okay. I don't know. Yeah, it was. Anyway. Alright, Retaliate 3, range 4, affect all allies. This is similar to the other card contemplation. This is very powerful. It's very powerful. Now, admittedly, this is going to be less powerful in our party for 2 reasons. One, we don't have a true tank. Although the Cragheart is tanky. 2, we're playing already at level 7 monsters. So typically when you reach level 8, you would be what? Level 4 monsters? If you're playing against level 4 monsters on +0 difficulty, this is insane, right? Level 7 monsters have a lot more health. That being said, this is still very good against a few of them, like Living Spirits, Flame Demons, Vermling Shaman, stuff like this. We will still probably use this again. Otherwise, we won't use this too much, but the power level is definitely there. I mean, again, the power level was there on both of these tops. This one's also very good. I don't... Wait, you're talking about Anguish and Salvation, or... Oh, you're talking about... Wait, hold on. Which thing, Qualdrian? The Anguish and Salvation top? I think you're underestimating how powerful... Like, the Retaliate... So I played a fair amount with Kid Rad's Death Knight. And he had... I mean, it was level 1, but it was Retaliate 2, range 3. Range non-loss Retaliate is really powerful. Really powerful. I think you're probably underestimating it a little bit. Like, Retaliate kind of sucks, but range Retaliate is so many times better. Like I said, I'm not really going to do it justice here by, like, the difficulty that I'm playing on, but I do think this top is actually... I think it's a very powerful top. I wouldn't be concerned about it not being powerful enough. Anyway, bottom, heal 5, affect any one ally, consume any element, and turn it into one of the elements we want. 1 experience, 29 initiative. Regardless, I think we're taking Anguish and Salvation. There aren't really any other cards that we want, right? What was the other level 7 card? Curative Flux? Yeah, this heal 3 thing. No, I don't feel like there are any cards that we missed. I guess this is 17 initiative, move 3 with an upside. Don't care at all about this. I mean, the muddle all enemies is kind of interesting because we always get to send curses, but... I mean, creating our elements is good. Heal 5 on any ally is good. It's funny to see some actual, like, relatively reasonably tuned... I mean, like... Shall we? Let's be clear here, right? I mean, 1 level difference, but still. Tinker's specialty is supposed to be healing. Now, I'm not complaining. I actually appreciate that the Diviner... This just shows why the Tinkerer sucks, right? I appreciate the Diviner's higher level heals are at least reasonably scaled. This is just embarrassing compared to this. And this is the healing class. Anyway. Oop. Alright. So this is the choice, right? Anguish and Salvation primarily just for the bottom, because the bottom does seem very good, and on a few scenarios, maybe the top. Versus Careful Attunement, also just for the bottom, as a move 3 with a bit of an upside. I don't feel like I actually need another move with a little bit of an upside. I've already got... This is a move 3 with a bit of upside, and then like this is a move 4 with a bit of upside. And we've got enough other good things that we also want to do on bottom, which is this, and then like yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of it, but still. This just seems like it doesn't give me movement, but it gives me a lot more actual upside. Consuming any element is also good. The annoying thing is that consuming any element isn't as good simply because our initiative isn't great, so we can't always consume an element before a monster consumes it themselves, but still. We can also, like, a lot of Earth gets wasted by the Cragheart. This allows us to turn Earth into light or dark, and we often do want a little bit more light or dark for our deck stacking. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Anguish and Salvation. I'm not super convinced with either of these cards, but I think this card can be fine. Alright. Okay, so settle our stuff. Oh my god, we're only playing on +2 difficulty now. I think 4-player setup, it's still a little bit too soon. I think we'll probably do 1 on +2 difficulty. So weak though. No, whatever. Screw it. Let's do 4-player setup. I don't want an easy scenario. Man. We don't have high prosperity items or anything like that, is the one thing. But, well, at least we'll make it interesting. Alright, hold on. Let's, Ah, that's a good point, actually. That is a good idea, Qualdrian. To do level 6 enemies with 4-player setup instead of doing level 7. That's probably a good place to start, actually. Because I am afraid that doing level 7 enemies, 4-player setup with this party, because like this party's not insane, right? It's just like a lot of pretty fair characters. I mean, still on the powerful side, but like fair powerful without high prosperity stuff. Doing 4-player setup could be pretty crazy, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think starting at level 6 4-player setup is probably a good way to go, because I don't want to do doing level 7 with only +2 difficulty. I mean, here we did +3 difficulty, and there were a couple tense moments, but not so much. It wasn't that challenging. This is really a shame. All right, so that's actually what we'll do when we come back. Let's cut the recording here.